1.0, 2.0 is the other war game. So it's Grayson Waller, the A champion, Braun Breaker, and Tony D'Angelo against Ciampa, Gargano, LA Knight, and
What's an A
Pete Dunne.
champion? What do you mean by that?
The A champion, Carmelo Hayes. Because no
Mm.
one's better than him because he's the champion, he's the A champion. That was his whole promo.
I don't remember that. I don't
I,
watch this show very often.
I've become a creature of habit, like wrestling fans are. We just become used to watch the same show.
Even if it's not as good as it once was.
Yes, it's just nature.
I feel you. I feel it. I feel it, bro. Let's take a look. I love Kevin in the chat. Where is this guy? Full caps. Where is he? Bring him out. Let's see. Let's do a little lo-fi before we start. I love the lo-fi.
Not a bad idea.
Give everyone a chance to join. Japanese lo-fi, if anything, right? Right? Japanese?
I don't know if I've like studied Japanese stuff. I listen to like stream beat stuff because I'm waiting to get back into like non-copyrighted
Listen to
stuff.
this one. Shit's a banger. Reminds me of being home.
This nice.
It's not stroked, Kevin. It's just bolded. But I agree. It looks weird. How come this fucking Botrix, dude? Ding, ding, ding. Ew, what? Oh, I can't! I can't! I can't! I can't! I can't no more! Come it!
TWFS says, oh, I found your little podcast feed. Vleeties hosted free on some amateur site.
Is yours not hosted free? You're wasting money, my friend. Oh, come on, oh, come on. I'm ready, Gino.
Ready when you are, Matt. Just pull up a little bit of stuff.
Do you remember when we super kicked you
Hey,
right in the face?
new follower. All right, let's close that. Fucking do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vleeties 2.0. It's me, Ryan Van Vliet. I'm a co-host of the other, the TWFS thing. I do that with my best friend, Kevin Scampoli. That's live Wednesday nights immediately following Dynamite. However, this is immediately following NXT, but I don't watch that show. There was a lot of wrestling this weekend, and I watched most of that. Gino, how much wrestling have you watched in the last 3 days?
The last 3 days, there was Survivor Series, NXT, Raw, so three shows, about 2 hours, three for like no four for the pay-per-view guy.
You didn't watch any other things and no other wrestlings than that? That was it?
Turning point is what you said past 3 days. I technically consider today as one day, so also turning point. So that's another 3-ish hours.
You didn't watch anything on Monday, is what I mean? Like Monday was like, I'm just gonna.
I did watch Raw.
I'm just gonna wait for Raw, like, because did you have
actually had to watch Raw?
Did you have Did you have a productive day? Did you do other things in the morning that prevented wrestle watching?
During the day, yeah, it was to finish up cleaning the room.
The room is clean now, so you're saying the room is all the way clean?
The room itself is clean. I still have now this closet, which I consider a different part of the room, but it's still technically part of the room. So the closet is the next thing. It's the last thing. Could work on that.
What does that mean when it's like that's part of the room, or like the next
There's
thing?
like a door to it, or at least like a gated door to it. So I consider that in itself its own little space of the room, but it's not technically part of the room because it's considered the closet.
Right, but so that place is just a shithole. Like as soon as you open that, like stuff falling out, it's like comedic, like the boys' locker in high school. Like, oh, look at all this stuff falling out. Like that's what the closet looks like.
It can.
Yes.
So I do need to clean that out, and that's the next big undertaking, which I'll take care of.
Big undertaking. I'm worried about when you get a real job, Gino. Like that. Cleaning a room is like a child's undertaking. You're my age. This is time. T-Bar would have that room clean in a couple hours. So I'm wondering if have you ever talked to T-Bar or Mace about cleaning their rooms?
Not entirely. No. Because normally the stuff we talk about is more. What would be the word? Psychological. Like I'd have more like in-depth discussions, like big brain discussions, like the self and who we are.
This is surprisingly big brain though, Gino. That's what I think you're missing, everybody. It's like this is the most big brain thing ever. Like this room is not clean. It should have been clean. It's so big brain because here I am, small brained man, cleaning rooms very fast. You having big brain conversations are taking weeks to clean this room. So I'm curious, like you guys aren't, and like I said about ICP last week, if you like all their music, all those Joker's cards, they're all about sharking your life, being a productive member of society, getting a well-paying job, all these things that they say to do. You know, your kid, your daughter's in college, tough grades, your son's playing video games, got the high score, all these things that could be your reality, but they're not your reality right now. So what are these big brain talks with Mace about?
Again, normally, there's been discussion like our ideas of who we are, and had this whole discussion with him about how his character has affected his life, like him being a character in wrestling and how that may have affected him or affected his life becoming this character more or less, even if it may be an exaggerated part of himself.
Oh, boy, these are big brained. But again,
because like that does affect.
But still, what's his room look like? Is his room clean? Like that's what I think. That's the biggest brain. I think that's definitely the largest portion of this. Is like I need to know why this room is taking weeks. Even with the sniffles, like you even said, I wasn't really feeling well. It's not like you had COVID. You could still have cleaned the room. But all of that aside, Gino, I had a busy weekend. Throw that out there. All right, I watched the Survivor Series Monday, so I finished it last night. I watched Turning Point today. I had to fast forward some of it because it was a long event. Oh my gosh. These guys, like, I even made a reference. Oh, they have YouTube. They can just do a 9-hour stream on every Saturday. And who's going to stop them? It made so much sense to me that they would absolutely just stream all day, all night. So they kind of did that. They had a very, very long Turning Point, countdown to Turning Point, blah, blah, blah. A very, very busy day. But I guess it all starts with the Survivor Series. That's the hot topic. I read most of the Raw results. Okay, I had to watch 7 hours of wrestling in the 4 hours I watch TV on Mondays and Tuesdays. But there's just too much, Gino. Why did Austin Theory steal the egg? I don't understand. This doesn't make sense.
Listen, I know it doesn't make any sense. It should have been somebody else. It should have been Hardcore Holly, really, so he could win the belt and then beat everybody. We already know this. That's the idea, and it would have been perfect. But it was Austin Theory because he is a dull type of character like R-Truth, which it also could have been R-Truth if we wanted to go with a comedic route that they still went with Austin Theory just being kind of a dunce and not keeping the egg where it was.
Did you say a Dole character or a Dolt?
Yeah, a dunce.
Oh, a dunce. Okay, gotcha. Like he's an idiot. Like we can only have idiots involved with the storyline. Because I had no idea what the plan was. Was this just an excuse to have Raw and SmackDown on the same episode of Raw?
That could have been also an excuse, yes, but who knows if that was like their actual long-term ideas. Just like, again, The Rock was originally going to actually show up on Survivor Series, but was not able to. Yeah, that's originally was the plans, at least from this one report that I read. That What Culture also posted about was the report.
I trust those guys.
So it's around the world taking this information about the original idea was The Rock was going to be on the show.
I don't know if I believe that. If I'm the WWE and I'm selling pay-per-views and The Rock might be here, I'm definitely letting everybody know that like way ahead of time. Can you imagine, like they had that John Cena Rock match booked out a year in advance. Can you imagine if this time when they're bringing in The Rock, it's going to be a complete shock and surprise and awe? These guys have been getting ridiculed by the wrestling community for months. This entire year has been how much everybody hates WWE now. So, The Rock's going to show up. But let's not tell anyone. It'll be a huge surprise. I think WWE's in like save it mode. We need, or like save us mode, save us Y2J mode. They need these big announcements ahead of time, because if Rock shows up on Peacock and nobody's there to see it, does it make a sound?
It still would, because it's The Rock and it's their biggest draw they would have. But again, I think they planned months in advance, but then months later they found out that The Rock had scheduled plans that were going to interfere with him possibly showing up.
Yeah,
and that he couldn't just do what he did for for TNA when he did the little video message for Ken Shamrock, who got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
He kind of did that, though. He kind of did what he did for Shamrock by, hey, I have all these years of content that I've given you guys anyway. Just put that all into packages and you guys can use that for my little night that you're doing for me that I'm clearly not going to show up for. I know I'm promoting a movie, so I'll show up almost anywhere, but I'm not showing up at Survivor Series in front of a sold-out Barclays Center. But let's talk about this event, Gino. Survivor Series went down Sunday night, Barclays Center, Brooklyn. They made sure that I knew that. They told me multiple times that this fucking event was in Brooklyn, Texas. So I enjoyed this event, Gino. I got to be honest. I know that we're supposed to poo-poo WWE. Taya Valkyrie is telling us, like, how could you support them? They don't give a crap about their talent. So
Just true.
A lot of me agrees with that. I think look, they just fired 80 people, all right? But then there are also stories of guys like Tyson Tomko who go to rehab and WWE pays for it. So there is contradictions and conflictions, and maybe they care about certain talent that, can draw money, and then Jimmy Uso can get as many DUIs as he wants, but Jack Swagger gets caught with weed. He loses at WrestleMania. So there's definitely pixies and choosies. But what'd you think of this event? Try and remove your internet guy bias. Wasn't this a good pay-per-view?
This was a fine pay-per-view. It was not better than Turning Point, which, again, that's the ad fair. But the two events, I think Turning Point was a better show.
That's the craziest thing you've ever said to me. There's no way. Turning Point had matches that could have been on Impact, like TV. There's no way.
Yes.
Anything with Rich Swann versus VSK, and all the explanation we get for Brian Myers not being there is a few tweets. Like, that's wow. You think Turning Point was better than Survivor Series?
Yes, because the only thing really coming out of Survivor Series was egg. With Turning Point, we got Jonah beating the hell out of Josh.
Wait. What do you mean egg? What is that? Did you not watch all the matches?
The gold egg was the main thing of the show, because the entire show, brand supremacy, and Raw wins most matches except for 2, and 1 was a DQ win for SmackDown.
Sure, but look,
and it meant nothing for both shows.
No, as far as
a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but it definitely, there were some awesome matches. Look at it individually. Becky got her big win over Charlotte. Let's go match by match, because we're going to get to Turning Point as well. I just had no idea that anybody could think that this was worse than Turning Point. Now, Turning Point was a fine show, but it's definitely, like, you could definitely tell which event I liked more. Just by, like, I took little notes. I just wrote like 1 or 2 words about each match. So I'm going to run it down, because I'm very shocked to hear you say that. Like, even as a WWE, like, you're just an internet guy. You watch all wrestling. You'll tell me that a match on GCW was 4 stars. Meanwhile, something that happened Survivor Series 03 is like 3.5. Well, it's not as good as this triple threat from a GCW event. So I know how your brain works, but I'm curious because let's go match by match. Now, I didn't watch this Shinsuke versus Damian Priest match because that was on the pre-show. And even when I fired up my Peacock to watch Survivor Series, that wasn't on it. So are they admitting that if it's on the pre-show, it doesn't count at all?
I guess so. Now that they just accepted it just because like that 1 year where the New Day won and they didn't count it. It's the same thing now. Any pre-show match that you don't count for the Survivor Series numbers.
Okay. All right. So the pre-show match does not count. I did not watch. I saw the highlights of it. It seemed fine. Damian Priest must be getting Hulu Rod even on Survivor Series. Like, I am not seeing this guy ever. I haven't seen this eyeliner since he's been wearing it. So I thought it was fine. I liked Rick Boogs. I always like Rick Boogs. But apparently my buddy who doesn't watch wrestling very often was messaging me about how stupid Rick Boogs was. So maybe to an outsider, they see Rick Boogs and they're like, oh, no, this is a terrible gimmick. This sucks. Why is this on Survivor Series? But you're going to flip the coin. You're going to actually defend Rick Boogs, right?
Of course, Rick Boogs, I've been a fan of since NXT. Eric Bugenhagen is a better name, though. I prefer Eric Bugenhagen than shortening it very down to just Rick Boogs.
I kind of
still
agree.
Be Eric Bugenhagen.
I actually, because Rick Boogs almost doesn't sound like a name. You know, it really is Rick. I mean, you could be Rick Bugenhagen if they're worried about how long that name is, but like Bugenhagen is a fun. Can you imagine McAfee having to say Bugenhagen every night? Like, I would love to have McAfee screaming that name. Right? I mean, he says Rick Boogs pretty good too. His commentary was the best. I know you hate Pat McAfee because you don't like funny things. Well, you like funny things. You like Wrestle House, but you don't like jock. Like, this is jock humor. This is me and Nathan loving McAfee calling it SmackDown, talking about the horror show spelled with an H. He's the funniest guy I think I love that it's him. It's because he's got this huge following. I guess WWE doesn't listen to him when he does commentary because they would not let anyone talk like this. So Becky versus Charlotte. Now, the promo package caught me off guard. I guess I watch Raw, I watch SmackDown. But you kind of forget this thing's been going on for a century, all right? This is the longest feud in WWE history. Because in my head, I always think Charlotte and Sasha, they had the Hell in a Cell. I think Bayley and Sasha obviously had the Iron Woman match. So I never really put, and I know Becky became the man by beating up Charlotte. But when they showed all this promo, I realized real quick, is this the biggest feud in women's wrestling history, or was that just the promo package?
I feel that was just a promo package. We need to really look through the big women's feuds and really see what could be bigger in comparison.
Do you have one? Do you have a name that you would throw out there? It's like, oh, well, Lita Trish.
I would go with Lita Trish because of how long that was going on for, and that there was a point in time before Lita got injured where they were going to main event WrestleMania. I
don't know how true that is.
Was going to be it because they main event Raw had that big match and Lita got hurt in there, and then it was either Lita or Trish that talked about that they were going to be in the main event of WrestleMania because of how hot their feud was at the time.
Was their feud hotter than any what year was that going to be? 2002? Was that because that would have been 2003 then, right? Or 2004?
Yeah. It would have been 03, 04 WrestleMania.
03 was Angle Lesnar. They even had Rock and Austin on that card. You know, 04 it was Eddie and Angle and Triple H, Shawn and Benoit. There's no way Trish and Lita ever main event at WrestleMania around these times. No, there's no way. We're not there yet in history, bro. We didn't have a Ronda Rousey to get the entire world to tune into women's wrestling. I know that Trish or Lita can say that. I like that we don't know who said it, but that's not true. There's no way. I agree. I believe some of the stories that these wrestlers tell that aren't corroborated by anyone else. I believe that Austin told the story he didn't want to work with Hogan because he didn't think he could have a good match with Hogan, so he wanted to work with Scott Hall. It's like, what? Just work with Hogan. They're the same guy, except one's more popular. And that's why Rock got to wrestle Hogan. I believe that story. Austin told that story. I've never heard anyone else tell it, but I think that makes total sense. I agree that I think they wanted Hogan to beat Rock, and Austin was like, fuck that. We've been beating these bastards in the ratings, Vince. They're not beating us nowhere, no how. So I believe those stories. There's no way Trish and Lita we're going to main event at WrestleMania over Triple H, over Austin, over Rock. Maybe in No, I can't name 1 year. And we talk about Triple H with all his backstage politics. He's not letting Lita and Trish main event in 05, not in 06. He was injured in 07, so maybe 07. But that's the only chance that I could see them main eventing, and I don't think either one were wrestling. Well, they probably were both wrestling, but not each other at that time. So Becky and Charlotte, biggest, like as far as matches go, they've had some headliners. They've had some bangers. They had a WrestleMania main event or two. And this was really, really good. I was shocked how good this was. This is, and even the finish where, they're both heels. We have to go to Monday Night Raw and Becky still gets some chants like, woo, you beat the villain. No, I'm still the villain, you dickheads. You guys were chanting for CM Punk, you jerk-offs. I love this match. What'd you think?
I think this was the best match of that night, of the entire card.
Yeah.
For Survivor Series.
I think so too. There's another match that there's two other matches that I really enjoyed, but this one was like I said it. This could have gone last. Like I thought it was the main event. They hyped it up like this is the two biggest female superstars in WWE history. We talk about women's evolutions and all those things. Like this is it. These are the two that PCB, the submission sorority. None of us will ever forget that. What an amazing monumental moment in history, right? So. This match was fantastic. I love that Becky cheated to win. It made it, it's like Eddie Guerrero. I'm a good guy tonight, but I still cheat to win. So this match was fine. And then we go into the men's Survivor Series match. This is where I started to have issues. Kevin Owens gets counted out. That's okay, I guess. Like, I'm about myself. I don't give a shit about Raw or SmackDown. I'm getting out of here. But then there was another count out, like a double count out. At what point in history, when do we get to a board meeting with Vince and Bruce and explain that these countouts are like smacking us in the face? I felt betrayed when I saw a double countout on this card.
That will only happen if we ever get to a point where WWE writers, like in the actual top of the tier people that are not like from NXT, realize that how could they coexist is outdated and lame, but they're going to keep doing it every year because that's the big question we always have to ask is how will these teams coexist with all of this animosity and all these changes? They don't know what to do. It's just too much happening sometimes.
Well, because it was McIntyre and Lashley, right?
Bobby.
And that makes sense. They had the WrestleMania match, but
their ongoing feud that'll never end.
But that's what I'm saying. We have all this built-in animosity and rivalry. Why not have them either be the final two or like just a double count out was such a lazy way to get, well, we don't want either one of these guys to get pinned. So they're just going to fall out of the ring and they'll just get counted out. It was sloppily booked. It
was better than the women's one.
Oh, 100%. And we'll get there when we get there. But I looked at this. I liked the final two. I thought having Jeff Hardy versus Rollins was a cool kind of like, oh, okay. The crowd was going ape shit for Hardy. We all kind of were. What's your take on Jeff Hardy? I know he's like an old WWE guy, but do you have respect for him?
Yes, I do. I have respect for him that he should be free to express this creativity and hopefully since he's talking with his mask guy to make this new mask, whether it be Willow or whatever name they're going to have, or again, what I would love for him to bring out is Itchweed. Him to bring out his Itchweed character. And we do that, Davey, for the first time ever.
And last time we tried something Hardy related in WWE that was created somewhere else, it didn't really work. I want him to create something else with creative services or whatever their names are. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see. I want to see like him, like imagine he just gets the Fiend gimmick. Just give him the mask. Get Tom Savini in here. We need to get Jeff Hardy a Fiend mask, and he can come out to modest to the top and just kind of saunter out to the ring like it's Victory Road 2011. So Rollins gets the win. It was a cool final two, though. So I gave him credit for that. It kind of helped me forget the nonsense that had happened with. No one's getting counted out was fine storyline wise. Now Raw's the underdogs, and then the double count out between Lashley and McIntyre was just, imagine being there live and this is happening. 3 countouts in one match. So we hype up this Survivor Series match like it matters, like it's really important. The battle for brand supremacy. Yeah, it's like the fact that this is we sell a pay-per-view based around this match that's 30 years old, and this one had 3 countouts in it. That's fun. So I don't know. I wasn't super impressed with this. However, I liked Rollins getting the big pin at the end. Ultimately, Rollins leaves this looking awesome. And you go over to, is he like, he's getting the belt from Big E eventually, right? Is that where this is going? That's the next feud, right?
Well, but he has a number contendership because of that ladder match, and I believe Big E is going to beat him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know.
I don't think Seth is getting that title.
I know
sadly.
and you know what? I'm fine with Big E as champion. I like Big E as champion. I think he's doing a good job so far. So, and he proves it in the main event, bro. I was all in on this main event. I forgot how awesome wrestling was for a couple minutes because I had to watch a Women's Survivor Series match that had some shenanigans in it. And then I was reminded how great wrestling is by Big E and Roman. And honestly, that main event might have been what made me realize, okay, this is better than Impact. Like, I watched the Impact show, some of the matches, and I know that Survivor Series had like some crap matches, but it was a Survivor Series elimination match, which is still unique and special. There was 2 of those. They were both kind of lame. There was a Battle Royal, which, you know, was kind of a lame Battle Royal, but it was still a Battle Royal. I got to see all my favorite wrestlers. Got to see some Pizza Hut. But there was no VSK versus Rich Swann. So that's just little differences that I see. And we'll go through Turning Point. We'll have our chance to get there. After the amazing Raw Survivor Series victory, we go to the 25 years of the Rock Battle Royal. Was this announced on SmackDown? What happened? When did this become a thing?
This was announced, I believe, either on SmackDown or right after, like on social media. Okay. They're doing this anniversary Rock thing, so the person who wins becomes the Rock.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah. Well, is this where the Rock was supposed to come out? Like, you and what culture were expecting? Like,
maybe, we don't know. They didn't say specific, but he was supposed to show up. So we don't know what the idea really was, but he was supposed to be there, and that's why he posted on Instagram that night of him having a sandwich.
I don't think he was supposed to be there. I really don't.
That was the original plans. Then the movie came out, and it's like, I have to do media.
You know, this movie's release date was announced last year. Like, it's not, this whole thing can't just be, what are you guys doing this weekend? Ah, shit. Netflix is going to release my movie. I can't make it. I'm so sorry. Like, they filmed this movie 9 months ago. The Hollywood is an interesting business where it takes forever to do sound and editing. Gino, it's a long process. So The Rock would have known months ago when this movie was coming out. WWE booked the Barclays Center like 9 months ago. So so are you saying like 8 months ago WWE was like, or 9 months ago WWE said, Rock, you can be at Survivor Series, right? And he said yes. And then 8 months ago he was like, shit, I can't.
Pretty much.
So yeah, what culture is saying just 9 months before. So okay, and then
yes, they had the idea of Rock. Then they're like, "Oh, we gotta change. We gotta just have the egg."
Yeah, we're still gonna have this entire pay-per-view built around the Rock, but since Rock can't make it, we're gonna put the egg in there, and we're not gonna get Ryan Reynolds. We're not gonna get Gal Gadot. We're not gonna get any other of these ancillary characters that could also just show up and promote Red Notice. We're just gonna have the egg there. That'll be our big thing. Yes. And what's the payoff for the egg? Austin Theory will take it. Like, no payoff at all. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is just we're booking it as we go. But also, The Rock was not supposed to be there. He would have told me, by the way. I'm close personal friends with him. He streams on Twitch. I respond to his messages. Now we're friends. This Battle Royal was kind of a bummer, Gino. It kind of made me realize how much I'd like to see some of these guys in other companies. But also, big question, where the fuck's Mace? You're a big Mace guy. I watched this thing. I'm looking for Mace. I thought I saw him. And then I would kind of catch a glimpse like, oh, that's not Mace. That's Commander Aziz from behind. Where is Mace?
Well, here's the thing. If you watch the pre-show, which you missed.
Oh, good. He got attacked.
There was this segment where Vince McMahon came in a limo. And then he came out of the limo and you see Mason back with all the other guys. You see him, Manny, my boy, Mansoor. You see T-Bar. You see all these guys. They're all there celebrating Vince. And then Vince brings up the egg and they don't cheer, but then Vince calls them to cheer. And then as they cheer, Mace starts the egg chant. And then everyone went on with it to chant egg.
But wait, what is that? Why is he not in the Battle Royal? What does that mean?
I don't know. He just was there.
I thought there was going to be more to that story. The story ended.
That was the story. He chanted egg.
This is like when you sent Kevin that clip of NXT and you sent the punchline without showing the build up to the joke, because that story. So you're excited that his big achievement from Survivor Series was starting the egg chant.
Yes, that's the only thing he did at Survivor Series.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
He could have done more, Gino. I swear he's good. I know
he's good.
No, Gino, I know he's good, okay? You're the one who's telling me he's fine making money for his family. I'm the one telling him to go to Vince's office tonight. Tell him, okay, I steal the egg. I started the egg chant. I know how valuable that egg is. My entire gimmick becomes being obsessed with this egg. I defend the egg with my life. I beat the shit out of people every week if they even mention the egg. We have an egg on a pole match, a ladder match with the egg hanging above it. This egg is the new championship, Vince. And he would say, I like it. Let's give it to Shanky. So, okay, this Battle Royal kind of stunk. I liked AJ's elimination. I thought that was fun. Why is everyone bullying Sami Zayn? What? I know that he's a villain or a heel, but that moment of him getting his buddies together and saying, hey, we're SmackDown. We got to stick together because there's more Raw guys. How come they just got rid of him? What happened?
Because they don't care about brand supremacy.
That's a good point. None of us do.
Because they want they're all with the corporation. They're all with the people in charge for this conspiracy document, which we're never going to get. But what we are going to get is Pizza Hut's trick or treat box every year. We're going to celebrate Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was everywhere. We got some Pizza Hut in the entire Battle Royal. That's the only thing the Battle Royal is about, was Pizza Hut, not the movie, not the Rock's movie. It's about Pizza Hut.
Well, did you get Pizza Hut from after this event? Oh, no. What are your thoughts on Pizza Hut, by the way? I used to think that Pizza Hut was not good, but now I live near one and it's outstanding. They have their thin crust is really good. I was surprised because everybody's always like, no, Domino's thin crust is the best, or Papa John's thin crust is good. I'm gonna throw. You know what? This is 5 claps for Pizza Hut, dude. I'm loving Pizza Hut's thin crust. I'm loving their pan. Everything about them is. I don't get their breadsticks though. You know, I'm not one of those. I'm not a breadstick guy. Because I used to work at Papa John's. You know, breadsticks are just like the pizza dough with no pizza on it. It's not exciting at all. So I love Pizza Hut, you know, and I think that this...
Tyler Spida says Pizza Hut so yum pretzel crust. I grew up with bragging rights. We need brand supremacy.
See, I agree with...
Tyler Spida says Pizza Hut so yum pretzel crust. I grew up with bragging rights. We need brand supremacy.
We need everything that he said, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. As far definitely with the Pizza Hut, I wasn't watching during the brand supremacy pay-per-view. I did really enjoy the ropes. Thought the ropes were awesome. The greatness! Thank you, Auld Lang Syne, for gifting a sub. Ew, to OGJFC. Welcome to the club, my friend. I appreciate it. And now you can use an exclamation point grit. And you can say things. That's awesome. But the ropes were great, Gino. I really enjoyed the red and blue ropes. That had a big feel of brand supremacy night. This didn't. And again, put something on the line. Put that egg on the line. Whichever brand has the most wins gets this egg at the end of the night. Let's do something. This had nothing at stake other than the matches became the ones that mattered were the personal ones, were the ones where something was really not at stake, but just it was really about I'm a champion. I need to prove that I'm better than you. Whether it was Becky Lynch and Charlotte or Big E versus Roman. Even I'll even tip my hat a little bit to the Usos.
Just as bright and just as talented as white.
Oh, we got to hydrate from Auld Lang Syne. I'm drinking Coke Zero. Tonight's Vleeties 2.0 is sponsored by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and also Pizza Hut's new Trick or Treat box. Okay, $20. And first of all, they do have a box where you get like 2 small pan pizzas, breadsticks, and a dessert. Gino, for like $20. That's an outstanding deal at any price.
It is. I mean, I would agree for 2 pan pizzas. I don't know if it's like unlimited toppings or it's limited toppings, but that is
one. It's like one topping. Pizza places make their money in the toppings, by the way. When you order extra toppings and they're $1.50, come on, you can get a McDouble for $1.50. How come it costs me $1.50 to add bell peppers and then another $1.50 to add mushrooms? Are you telling me that I'm getting $1.50 worth of mushrooms on this pizza? I've been listening to Pat McAfee too much. You know, he's my favorite announcer ever. Use the promo code Vleeties in the Pizza Hut app, and they will ask you what you are trying to accomplish. So, Battle Royal stunk, Gino. Let's move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Really enjoyed this match.
It's the championship match. This is what happened. We got a title match.
Yeah, double titles. That's what they should do. Losers,
put all the titles on the line.
Losers, vacate your belts. You guys got to win them back. This match was great. I know that it's Randy Orton, so I'm obviously going to like it. Matt Riddle had a few moments in this match where I thought, this is the Matt Riddle we need. Remember Matt Riddle versus the Velveteen Dream, Gino?
Yes, I remember Matt Riddle in NXT. I remember even the Broserweights that I was a big fan of. And now he's making himself into a character, which again, maybe Vince and whoever just likes him being a stoner and making stoner character. But like he's fine, but like it's not the same as NXT Riddle. But it reminded me again. There were spots where it's like, this is the Riddle we want back.
Yes, like
because he's just funny guy.
He is stoner guy, and even Broserweight is too funny for me. I'm talking him in Velveteen Dream. I'm talking him with the pinstripe Yankee trunks coming out and doing his dance, and then halfway through the match he like turns heel because he just starts beating the shit out of Velveteen Dream. He turns into more of an MMA character. And, you know, this guy has a UFC background. He doesn't like British people. They spit in his mouth. So it was this amazing match. I always tell people that's my favorite Matt Riddle match. That's my favorite Velveteen Dream match. It's an amazing story. You can watch it with no build-up either. It's just fantastic. And Velveteen Dream, by the way, versus Aleister Black, that was awesome too. But
say my name.
This match in particular, like as far as this Usos versus Orton and Riddle, I thought this was great. It made everybody look awesome, and they gave it some time. That's the other thing with WWE lately. Having 6 matches on your main card and the pay-per-view still longer than 3 hours, they're giving this stuff some time, which I like because there have been several times we've ordered pay-per-views and the second match is 3.5 minutes, and you're like, cool, Charlie Haas is pretty good at wrestling. So it was nice to see these guys go long. And I didn't know who was going to win. I honestly thought the Usos had a big shot at winning, and we were going to build towards. I think I picked RK Bro to win anyway because I think their breakup's going to happen more in February. But this was an amazing match.
It was, and with how I was seeing the car go down, I had a feeling Raw was just going to win everything but the main event.
Sure.
And the only match they didn't win was by DQ.
Sure, and I think even when I did my predictions, or at least somewhere, I had said, why not just have Raw lose everything, Roman gets the win, and that way he can really tell everybody that he's the one. I'm the only one who won on this freaking brand. I've buried everyone else, and nobody cares that Raw won all these matches because I won my match. My match is the one that mattered. Like, there's so many easy ways he can make that promo work. Oh, Raw lost? Why would I? Or SmackDown lost? Why do I care? I'm worried about my $100 million contract after you sell that egg. So, amazing match. I really enjoyed that. Now, what happened? This Women's Survivor Series match, by the way,
Yes.
had another count out. What is happening?
The best count out. That made no sense.
I hated that count out. Like, why would her team do that? And then
they don't like her.
We don't like you. And it wasn't like she and Shotzi botched the tag, I guess, because she was supposed to do it.
It was the senton she was supposed to do, but I think Selena was a little bit too close, so she had to do a splash.
Yeah, that was weird. But then there was that moment where Shotzi was supposed to Sasha and Shotzi were supposed to tag whomever at the same moment. It was supposed to. Yes, and Sasha gets in the ring, and then Shotzi does the tag, and then gets in and says, "No, I'm legal. I'm legal." Is there anything more annoying than Shotzi's heel turn?
More annoying?
Name a thing. Name a thing on WWE worse than the Shotzi heel turn right now. And don't you dare say Mace.
Right now? I thought like of all time you're thinking, but right now?
Right now, what's worse? What's more annoying than Shotzi yelling as a heel, even though she's the best babyface they have?
Randy?
You think Randy's great? That makes me laugh every time.
Saying Randy,
I love it.
Peter Griffin saying Randy because he was getting bullied by Randy.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. You don't get the reference? Family Guy's great.
It's just Family Guy.
Family Guy's great.
Family Guy should just be its own world. We shouldn't reference Family Guy. It's fine to reference Seinfeld and Larry David with Pretty Good and having a whole Seinfeld attire, which I like. But
I'm pretty sure, by the way,
Family Guy.
I'm pretty sure that they don't even know they're doing a Family Guy because honestly, I didn't.
Riddle does.
I didn't know. Me and Riddle probably don't watch Family Guy anymore. We gave up on it after season 3. We're like, okay, you guys brought it back. It's not as good. Thank you so much. So now, this match was terrible. Carmella's elimination was fun. Toni Storm looked pretty good in this match, and then I felt like I had a sip of Coca-Cola Zero and Pizza Hut, and I looked up and she was gone. What happened? How come it's suddenly she's out? Rhea Ripley's supposed to be like this dominant chick. She got out pretty easily. What happened? Like it was
He wanted to make Bianca the sole survivor and beat against all odds, 1-4.
So she was down 4-1, but then Sasha has the count out, which, okay,
Yes.
look, hey, we're SmackDown. We have 4 people. We can get rid of one that we don't like, and we'll have the moment without her. We hate her anyway. But then it seemed like the next 2 minutes were the easiest velocity squash match victories I had ever seen. It wasn't like impressive for her to eliminate Natalya, Baszler, and then Shotzi. Like none of it really seemed hard. There was never a moment where I thought, oh, she's not going to be able to get this done. Like you and I just watched Survivor Series 2003 a couple weeks ago, and like Shawn Michaels was down 3-1, blood in his face. How is he doing this? Where is Shawn getting this? Go, Shawn, go! And even though he lost, it was still, I felt like he had earned a victory there, a moral victory at least. Bianca got an actual victory, and I don't feel like there was ever any. Was this hard for her? Natalya was beaten super easily with a roll up. Wasn't Shayna rolled up? Like everybody just keeps getting rolled up, and then finally we get a KOD, and it's just. And then I don't know who did this. I'm sure it was somebody in the referee's ear. Just have Bianca dance for like 2 minutes. We got to cue up some highlights. And the camera was awkwardly on her as she's kind of dancing with her hair. And I don't know if if that was the plan. Hey, she has this momentous victory. Survivor Series. She won the Royal Rumble. Now she's the sole survivor. Everybody's going to forget about that 26 seconds at SummerSlam because of this moment right here. Her song's a banger. Isn't it the best?
It's a great song, but now again we got this. But I think again, people didn't really care because they knew right after this was going to be a match or even a long-term feud with Doudrop, and not a title opportunity.
Well, no, we already know who the next Raw.
Yes, we know it's Liv Morgan. So they knew like this match wasn't going to mean anything for Bianca.
No, I think in the long term, because we have these things called the Slammies, and she's probably going to win Female Superstar of the Year. And that'll give.
They still do Slammies? Oh yeah, they did do that one on Twitch, didn't they? One year, where it's just like was video. It wasn't even on their television.
Gino, we have a live crowd. Okay, we're definitely gonna have some Slammies again. All right, we're gonna.
Fine.
We might even have the Bella Twins return at the Slammies. It's gonna be fantastic. So this was and look, I understand. Like, oh well, Bianca just had this awesome Survivor Series. She should get a title match. Again, I like WWE trying to. Just because you're not going for a singles women's championship, we're still going to try and put rivalries together, much like the men. The men have matches all the time that are not for belts. And that's because the men are interesting characters and they're given ring time and TV time. And we're trying that. Bianca's a great character. Doudrop's a good character. This is a good opportunity to have matches that aren't necessarily for a title. Like that Queen's Crown tournament, the idea behind that is outstanding. But when the matches are, oh, shoot, we got to put a women's match here. Okay, let's give them a minute and a half, including entrances. So I think that's exactly what we need to do. So I don't know. Loving it so far. This match did not end. I was not impressed by Bianca's victory. It didn't seem very earned. So what are your thoughts? Women's division in WWE, where are we going? Do you hate this match enough to where nothing good comes out of it?
The match was fine. It didn't do much for anyone besides Bianca.
Right. Yeah. Shotzi doesn't
got anything out of it. Everyone did. They didn't even really they got their stuff in, but they didn't really get any dominance where they looked good. Shay looked bad. So did Rhea. And everyone doesn't look good going out except for Bianca for winning.
Is Sasha a villain? Because I kind of thought after Shotzi beat her up, it made Sasha a babyface. And
yes, she was, but the rest of them were all heels.
Yeah, and that makes sense. So, but the way that Sasha's flailing, and it kind of seemed like Sasha was a heel. It was very weird, a very weird pay-per-view.
Yes,
very weird match. But then we move on to the main event. This was the meat. All right, we had a bunch of salad before this. We had some good apps. We had some fried pickles. This was the meat. Now
had the meat was the very first match. This is like a second course of the meat.
Oh, a second meat. You're so right. This is a second meat. We have our first meat, and then fried pickles was like RK Bro, and now we're having some more meat. Everything else was salad and water. This was awesome. I really enjoyed this match. This match By the way, Bleacher Report gave it an A. I'm giving this an A+. Because as far as a WWE match between two champions where both guys need a win, I thought this was fantastic. We already kind of know what their next feuds are going to be anyway. This is obviously the silly pay-per-view where we have the brands fight each other. This could not have been any better, Gino. I thought the incorporation of the whole storyline, this was another video package that I watched Raw and SmackDown, right? And I watched.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Auld Lang Syne with the steak. He said he knew what I meant. It's just the meat. This is the steak of Survivor Series. Thank you, Auld Lang Syne. I appreciate it. Steak. This is the steak, Gino. And this steak was fantastic. First of all, I called Roman Reigns' victory. I knew he was going to win. It made sense. Were you thinking Big E was getting the dub?
I knew Roman was going to win. I wanted Big E to win because, like, Roman could lose, but they weren't going to do it. The thing that I liked about Big E, since I referenced it, was Big E wearing Seinfeld quotes and having a Seinfeld attire because I'm a big fan of Larry David.
Well, even this Roman had the red wrist thing, so they both were not. They didn't understand this was about our brands tonight because Roman was wearing the red wrist thing. Big E had blue in his tights. Like everybody was, they were the only two that said, "Okay, look, we get there's some like brand thing going on tonight, but this is Big E versus Roman. This is WWE Champion versus Universal Champion." Vleeties has completely 180'd on the Universal Championship. I think it's the coolest belt name in wrestling history. I don't know why it happened because it just made me realize, oh yeah, everyone else has a world title. We have a universe title. It's such
now we have two universe titles. So that's the thing. Matt Cardona is the real Universal Champion, the GCW Universal Champion.
I thought Moxley beat him for it.
No, he beat him for the GCW Heavyweight Championship.
Oh,
not
thank goodness.
The Universal Championship.
Oh, thank
But
goodness.
also what matters is since you bring up brand supremacy and like people showing off their brands, the only time we saw people in their shirts was the Battle Royal. Why weren't the brands wearing their shirts during the actual tag matches like they used to do?
They were wearing colors. They were all wearing red.
But not shirts. They should have been wearing the Raw and SmackDown shirts like they always did
for
the past few years.
Yeah, for the past few years. Yeah, they definitely did. What about it? What about bragging rights? Well, even at WrestleMania like 21, they had a pre-show. Yeah, they had a brand battle royal, and everyone had to wear their uniforms for that too. So yeah, I agree. It was a little weird that we didn't make them wear shirts, but maybe it made it a little more legit without the shirts. At least in my view, that it did, because it is cartoony when they're all wearing.
A sport. You're a sports brand. You have to wear your branded shirt to support your brand.
You just gotta wear. Well, they don't wear shirts in any sports. They wear jerseys. And these wrestlers wear trunks, and the red team was red, and the blue team was blue. So I give them credit for that. If ECW was still around, they'd be wearing purple or some shit. 205 Live took the purple. So this was this main event though, Gino. Big E, Roman Reigns, fantastic match. So I know that we said Becky and Charlotte match of the night. This was also a match of the night. Can I pick two? Can I say how awesome this match was?
Listen, this match was awesome, but still, to me, Becky and Charlotte was a better match.
This was so good of it. Like, I was very impressed.
TWFS says ill Rittenhouse both of you for voting for those gay shirts.
Yeah, Gino, no gay shirts during the matches, okay? We're going to get shot in self-defense. We're going to chase Kevin down, hit him with a skateboard, follow him with a gun, tell him we're going to kill him. He's going to turn and kill us with AR-15s. And then the court's going to try and paint him as a gay shirt hater. And people are going to say, Gino, did you hear about this whole... he was wearing a white supremacist shirt. Did you hear about this?
I did not hear about this.
He was wearing a shirt that said free as fuck. And I was like, what's white supremacist about that? And then he was taking a picture with the Proud Boys. And the Proud Boys are still painted as white supremacists, but their leader is Cuban. What's happening, Gino? What do I do? What do I do with my hands?
I don't know, man. I don't know what you do. I don't know if there's anything we as just normal citizens can do in the situation.
I'm wearing a free as fuck shirt. I think that's a great idea. And they were doing this symbol. I guess this is the new white symbol. The Proud Boys do it like it's an OK symbol, but they're saying it's a W. I guess that's the code. I always thought this
was News has been reporting on that for like a while since it came from 4chan. The idea of making the OK symbol a white supremacist sign.
How come John Cena switched to this? Remember, he was Word Life. He had like this thing going, and then one day it just became this. It just became that. Yeah, he would go. Yeah, he had the bang the fingers together because he wore the knucks, and then the knucks got so big that he had to go like this, And then he just was like, okay, signs. Like, what is happening? It wasn't this team 3D. Didn't they throw up the 3D?
Wasn't 3D like this with the? I don't remember how.
No,
like,
it's 3D. Gino, do I need to explain this? It's 1, 2, 3D.
Yes, same 3D.
No, you don't get the D. Where's your D when you do that? The D's the D's right here, your thumb.
The D's right here.
Podcasters, this is great. So
yes, this is content for them.
This match was outstanding. I think the right guy won because clearly Reigns just can't lose. When he loses, it's gonna be huge, bro. And people are thinking The Rock's gonna come back and beat him. I think Roman Reigns is gonna beat The Rock. I'm calling that now.
I think it's Brock that beats Roman.
You think it's gonna be Brock?
Roman versus Brock, non-title.
I thought, whoa, that's crazy. When's Mace getting involved in your booking?
Mace gets involved when the title's on Brock.
Dude, I'm so shocked he wasn't even in that battle royal. Like, it really was just so shocking.
Again, this is building up slowly, very slow, for us getting the rematch, the moment we've waited for, which is Mace and Brock one-on-one.
Gino, is this a white supremacist thing? I think Mace would do this. He's black.
It depends. Again, people in society, I don't entirely know if it is 100% white supremacist or not. And also, I realized you do it like this and not this.
Which I do it both ways. Whatever. My fingers slip. They got a lot of grip. I don't wash my hands very often because I like the oils in my hands. I get so annoyed. Gino, the media really painted this Rittenhouse guy in a terrible light. Did you even hear in his interview? He says, I support Black Lives Matter. That's why I was fucking there. So I don't know why I'm being painted as this guy. He was there to hand out waters, be first aid. He was doing all these helpful things, and then these guys started messing with him. And then he shot 3 white people, but he's a white he hates black people because he shot white people. I don't get it, Gino. Help me.
I don't get it either, man. I don't know if there's anything I can do to help you about that situation.
Just help me. That's why we got to be vocal, Gino. That's why this show's the new Proud Boys podcast, all right? Because I don't even know. Everyone loves to bring up the Proud Boys like they're these evil people. And it's like, are they? Because they're not the ones who are burning down New York and burning down Philadelphia. And Home Depot in Irving got robbed today. That was fun. I live in Texas, Irving, Texas. Apparently, a truck pulled up. And these 2 dudes just ran inside and started grabbing. You know, they put like the leaf blowers in boxes. They just started grabbing a bunch of power tools and like running outside. Come on, let's get these power tools. And I was even bummed out. I was like, please don't tell me what race they were. I was like, no, come on, guys. We got to break that narrative. But Gino, why is it true?
I don't know, man. I have no idea why this perspective and why people do the things they do. We'd actually understand the people, try to help them early on in life so they can become better people for society.
I agree with I honestly agree with that. I do agree. Like, people talk about, oh, we should have free college. We should just make elementary school better. It's really strange how everybody assumes, no, by the time you're 18, you're going to know how to read. You're going to know how to write. You're going to know how to do this. You're going to know this. I feel like we got to put that shit into people when they're young, Gino. We're so worried about teaching kids that white people are evil. Like, it's so silly. Why don't we just have everybody learn the same amount of stuff? And what's your thoughts on standardized testing?
I know how important it is to at least know how intelligent and how much these students understand what they're being taught. But yes, there are also a percentage of like standardized tests that are not always accurate to the students' learning.
But also, well, people are worried that you teach to the test. But my big thing is, you're in a family of educators, aren't you?
My mom is an educator.
Yes, thank you. So, don't schools with higher testing scores get more money or something like that?
It is something involving that and how teachers do get like looked at differently depending on how their students do. Yes,
that's weird, dude. I don't agree with that. I feel like, well, and I also feel like teachers don't like that they're graded on that, but it's also like, I don't know, like we got to grade you somehow, right? How do we do it, Gino? I feel like the testing shouldn't determine funding for schools. Like the good schools, they get more money. I don't know. They get better. These other kids need some money.
And then
too.
Those bad schools where like you have teachers don't get paid enough, and you don't really get to help the students that are in like those poor educated schools, like poor like in money wise.
Exactly.
Educated schools, like then it makes it harder for them to want to teach and actually try to teach because it's not going to really affect them whether they do well or not.
Well, teachers spend a lot of their own money. All of this is Gino. All of this is more proof why WWE was fantastic on Sunday. It makes me forget about all of the terrible things they've done this year. All of the wrestlers that they've freed. I don't call it release anymore. I'm calling it
TWFS says study for the test, Gino, and you'll do okay.
Gino, you should study for the test. Wouldn't that be good if everyone tried really hard? Because that's the other thing that goes unsung a lot with these tests is that it does seem like when it's pounded into your skull how important test taking is. Because I've heard that excuse before. I'm just not a good test taker. I don't think anyone is naturally a good test taker. I think people apply their efforts I think people do things a little different. You know, Ray Lewis even says effort is between you and you. So how much you put in is how much you're going to get out. And I think if at a young age you're taught to put a lot of effort into things, you're going to get good at them. Ray Lewis wasn't born good at football, Gino. He had to watch film, he had to work out, and he had to try a little bit. Yes, he's a naturally God-gifted athlete.
Ew, what?
Ricardio renewed his subscription. Thank you so much. This is outstanding. Gino, when are you going back to school? Didn't you say you were going to finish up some degrees?
I was thinking about if I could possibly go into like a trade school eventually. I might do that. I need to really look into what I want to do as a career.
What do you want to do, Gino? This is fun. I like that you're deciding right here live because you keep saying you're going to start the Gino stream, and I'm like, dude, I've subscribed on all of your social media platforms. I've never been told when you're going live. I even looked. I know I know where you can host a podcast for free, Gino. It's shitty and amateur, but it works. So do you want to do your own podcast one day?
I don't know about that. Again, streaming, and then from that, like I can then record it, and hopefully then it can be used as podcasting. If I can just do a just tag stream, or even just a part of it that's like an hour or so long, which I might do. Again, my issue that I did is I tested OBS, and it's slowing down everything whenever I run something, whether it be like game or something. So I need to like try other stuff, like change like bit rates and all this. And I'm going to try Stream Elements next, and then Twitch Studio.
Wait, what's wrong? OBS can do all those. You can change bit rates. I changed the bit rate.
It's not entirely sure if that's the case. Like if it is bit rate or something else, because like I did try changing it during it, and it wasn't affecting it as much. Like it was still slowing down.
Malachi Black says fucking War Games is going to be awesome.
That's a Gino thing. I don't know what War Games is. I don't watch WCW.
It's not TakeOver anymore. It's just NXT War Games.
Okay, so here's the thing, Gino. You're saying all these things that you could have tested today. Like these are definitely things that could have been handled today. You could have just decided, hey, I'm going to try OBS because I changed the frame rate. Remember when I would go live on the Quadcast and Twitch would never work? I had to change the bit rate, bro. No big deal. So there are things that you can do to just make it, change it, make it different. So I'm with you, Gino. I can't wait for tomorrow. This is going to be awesome.
It will. It's going to be a great day.
It'll be just in time because this Thursday is Thanksgiving. But this past Saturday, because I was looking at TNA and I was like, they're on Thursdays.
Ew, what?
Nathan Weller is a subscriber on Trovo. Thank you so much, Nathan. Turning Point happened, Gino.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Thank you so much, Auld Lang Syne. They are. See, Gino, Joe Biden had it right. Poor kids are as smart as white kids. Is he assuming there's no poor white people?
I believe he's saying that poor white people do exist. He's just having like poor people of any kind.
That's true.
He's trying to be, again, inclusive to all.
But is he saying there's no, by being inclusive, is he saying that there's no rich black people? Is that what he was doing with that?
I believe that was a slip up because, again, how he grew up when he was younger, when he saw that mainly the white people of his time were the richer people. That he thought like that could still be.
Yeah, him in Delaware. Yeah, him in his rich white Delaware neighborhood. We know what he meant. So now let's go to Turning Point. I watched Turning Point today. I watched most of it today. I think I watched some of it last night. The entire thing was on Impact Plus, or not Impact Plus, Impact Ultimate Insiders, including the pre-show. Now, the pre-show, I thought I was going to see Crazy Steve and Black Terry, but I had Rohit Raju and Raj Singh. Now, isn't Raj Singh? Wasn't he Big Khali's like interpreter or something? Why? How come this guy looks way different but has the same name?
I think it was probably his real name, or at least a name that he was free to use even after WWE, because some people are able to still use their names after WWE.
Or was that?
Or he was spelled differently. I don't know if that was the same guy that looked like it.
Was that Ranjan Singh? Maybe I'm just racist.
Yeah, you're thinking Ranjan Singh. Yeah,
okay. Finjuice beat him. Why is Raju?
Malachi Black says, Gino, you can't wear that AEW hoodie to your job interview.
No, he can. Where you getting the job interview at? If you get a job interview at like a arcade, you should wear that jersey or that hoodie. That'd be great, Gino.
It would. That's it. I got to look into places that are hiring in my area, and that's what I'm going to do as well.
Where do you live? You live in Marietta.
I live in Marietta.
Marietta, Georgia. Jobs. Oh, just Indeed. Go to Indeed, Gino. There's so many.
That's what I'm doing. Is like Indeed.
There's so many things on Indeed. You'd be so good at all these jobs. I haven't even opened the window yet, but I know you. I just know how you operate. I just think you need a little confidence, and you need to go to Walmart to buy one of those shirts I was telling you about. You keep acting like they don't sell shirts at Walmart. So, job employment, Marietta, Georgia. Here we are. We're already in it. Look. Oh my gosh, you serious? You'd be the best warehouse package handler for FedEx ever. This is right up your alley.
Yes, it would be great to work at FedEx, something that maybe somebody here has worked
Malachi Black says you need to wear a suit, Gino.
Yeah, your birthday suit. Show up with no clothes on. You know who would like that? Tyler Spider. So, okay, warehouse package handler. $19.50 an hour, Gino. You could buy a GCW pay-per-view every month after working there for like 2 weeks.
Yes, that's true. But again, we got to see. Again, I might go for that. Again, maybe since I know possibly someone who's worked at FedEx, that might help, but maybe not.
I'll throw it out there. I don't even care. I don't work there anymore. They can't do anything for me. Amazon Amazon delivery
Tyler
station.
Speeda says, ID love it.
Oh, he would love it. See, look, Amazon delivery station warehouse associate. That's in Smyrna. You know what else is in Smyrna?
What else?
The DDP Yoga Studio. You can go work for DDP. How far away are you from Smyrna?
It depends on traffic, and like I don't know entirely. Another big issue with me is I don't have my own car and don't have a license.
Easy to get that the lift. You can take a lift everywhere.
Yes, that's what we have to do.
And also, you can get a driver's license eventually. That's easy to do. You can get that, right?
Possibly. My eyesight's kind of bad, like with glaring issues with the sun has always been a problem.
You have so many experiences. I mean, one of the most impressive things about you is whenever I say anything.
Says get naked now, Gino. Forget the interview.
Oh, Gino!
No, I can't because that's against TOS.
Do we need to play the inspiration song? Well, because that's a stripper song. Amazon
Great song, but we shouldn't because that's again TOS.
I don't think that's a great song, by the way. If I can say something, I know Matt Stryker
Master
likes
Sexy
it.
says if you become buff and the stuff, you'll never hesitate.
That's true. Nathan Weller just did money and it didn't make a sound. What is this wait and see shit, Gino? Let's get a fucking job now and you'll start to love life because you have money. Enough excuses. All right, Gino, what's your email? I'm applying you for this Amazon picker full-time job in Decatur. How far is Decatur from you? Can you walk there?
It is pretty far, and I would not be able to walk.
Okay. Oh, hey, this one's in Marietta. It must be around the corner. Tutors needed. Your mom's an educator. You can tutor. Isn't it hereditary?
No, not entirely. Education is not hereditary.
Damn it. Oh, work from home. You're not even going to drive anywhere. Customer assistance. CarMax. You know CarMax. What do you know about the CarFox?
No, I don't. I know only about the Carfax.
Yeah, but the CarFox is the one who's like, show me the Carfax. You don't know these commercials?
I know the commercials. I'm just saying I don't know the Carfax.
Show me the Carfax. Show me the Carfax. No, you're going to love it. Gina, or you can go to Austell, Georgia. That seems far. Is Austell far from you?
It can be.
It can be. Does it get further at certain times of day?
Yes.
Oh,
that's how traffic works.
Is it like Harry Potter? You know the staircase has changed? I'm always fascinated by Harry Potter because it's this magical world where they have all these magicians and wands. Nobody could stop the staircases from changing?
They probably could.
What about...
They make sure it's in the fastest way to get to the specific area.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, a pizza! What about Pizza Hut, Gino? Could you work? You don't have a car, but you can make pizzas. You can stand on the line, slap some dough. You hear that? That's me slapping dough.
Yes, I could. Again, I could do a lot of things. So I really put my mind to it and really focus on getting this a job, which I will.
Gino, you posted a music video in the Discord at like 6 a.m. my time. So I was wondering if that meant you had gotten up early or if you were still awake.
Yes, I just couldn't sleep last night.
That mind was racing, huh?
Sick and depressed and kind of
Gino,
I'm feeling better today.
See, we're all depressed. It's what we do with our depression that we just got to push through it. We got to fight through it.
Malachi Black says that was the sound of Vleeties beating his meat.
It's pretty violent. It is loud like that. You ever do it sitting up and it feels like you're just kind of punching yourself? You ever do that, Gino?
Maybe.
For sure, all the time. Look, hiring immediately warehouse associate. There's so many jobs in Georgia. I might have to move. Why is there so many jobs here that pay over $20 an hour, Gino? You could be the richest guy. This could be your first. Can you lift 75 pounds?
Yes.
Oh, you're so in. Okay. I'm going to share this job with you because this is the one right here. Simos Insourcing Solution, Cartersville, Georgia. I did a map quest. It's very close to where you live. This is the winner right here. Who's the big winner? Gino's the big winner. Perfect. I'll send that on my own time. It was only posted 7 days ago, Gino. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yes. So yeah, 7 days ago they might still be looking.
Do they have a sign-on bonus? That would also. I'm not going to log in. We'll do that. See, but just example, how many places are hiring right now? It's very, very fun. The amount of possibilities there are right now. So, Gino, speaking of Georgia, this was in Tennessee. Oh, this is in Vegas. I watched.
Go on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Another pizza. Thank you so much to Auld Lang Syne for the another pizza. It's like Pizza Hut in here, which, by the way,
poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Which is also not incorrect. Thank you so much, Nathan. This is a Coke Zero. Pizza Hut and Coke Zero are teaming up, even though I think Pizza Hut is Pepsi products. They're teaming up to give you Vleeties 2.0 right now, live on Trovo.live/Vleeties. So I watched Turning Point. Now, the first match, because, again, I love this. The entire thing was on YouTube. WWE thinks the pre-show is bullshit. Impact is like, no, we're going to have our best match on the pre-show. Because I talk a lot of shit about Jordynne Grace every time I get the opportunity. And every once in a while, she has the match of the night. Now, her and Chelsea Green, maybe it's because I was like at work on break or something, but I just turned this match on and I took a longer break today, Gino, because I could not stop watching this match. Was this secretly like the greatest match of all time or what?
This, I feel, for a women's match, I think was even better than
Says
Becky
don't be a
versus
scab,
Charlotte.
Gino. The worker shortage is due to multiple nationwide strikes. Don't be a scab.
Look, Ricardio's on my side. He's on your side too. We got to get you back to work. Places need workers, and you're a worker. So go worker. Can you do it, Gino?
I will.
He will. He says he will, everybody. This is awesome.
Yes.
You got who's your inspiration,
I sadly don't entirely have an inspiration.
Oh, Cassie and Jesse are my like inspiration. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for those two. So, okay, let's take a look, Gino. This match was outstanding. Really enjoyed it. I think that Jordynne Grace shocked me with how good of a match this was. And you said for a women's match. What did you mean by that? This is for
It's like I'm comparing this to Becky and Charlotte. I think this was the better women's match of the weekend.
That's the worst thing you've ever said. It wasn't that good. It was the match of this.
It was.
You think it was better than Charlotte? Did you hear the crowd in Brooklyn?
Yes. If they had a full crowd like they did in Brooklyn,
but you know what?
Would have had a big reaction.
But that's such poppycock, Gino. Because if their matches were that good, they would have a full crowd like they do in Brooklyn. Like Impact is a wrestling company. If it was awesome, people would not be able to not watch it. Like it
is awesome. People just don't choose to watch. That's the worst. That's the bad thing.
But Survivor
choose to go to Access Television.
And this wasn't even on Access. This is $5 on YouTube, and people would rather pay $10 on Peacock to watch that. So I mean, clearly that match was one of the best. I'm going to say this ever. This is not a match of the year. It was definitely a match of the night. But that Becky Charlotte match was fantastic. I think. Maybe you have the WWE glasses on where you're like, fuck these guys. They fired all my friends, including Chelsea Green. But this match was good. Let's not compare it to the WWE stuff yet. Because I think if you're saying this match was better than Charlotte and Becky, then we're going to have issues this entire card. Because this
poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Thank you so much, Auld Lang Syne, for the spell. Mana Israel. He's on fire. So this event opened technically with Chris Saban versus Ace Austin. Now, Gino, what did I write about this match? I wrote was great. Where is this going though? How come Ace Austin lost to Chris Saban? Are we building up Chris Saban for something, or do we need to have Ace Austin lose a few matches just to make him seem mortal? What are we doing?
Again, if you remember the storytelling they've been doing, because again, this entire card
Right.
has story in every match. So we had Ace Austin beat Chris Saban. This has been the thing going on for weeks. Is Ace Austin beat Chris Saban?
He got the shirt. Yeah,
It's the best shirt. That he beat Chris Saban. Then Chris Saban had to prove himself, to prove that he can do it, that he can beat Ace Austin. And now Chris Saban is Chris Saban. Chris Saban is finally back to who he once was as Hail Saban. He's come back to his own to be the single star again.
Well, and don't make me do this, but you said this match actually has stories. Are you saying the Survivor Series did not have any stories at all?
The entire card only had 2 matches with story.
Well, I can name all. There's a story in every match that we can name.
Brand versus Brand, SmackDown versus Raw's whole thing, where they had literally just people get eliminated because you lost to Bobby Lashley. You're a loser.
Well, what about? Okay, hold on. Let's even look at this match. Let's go back to Survivor Series. You can even look at the men's team match. You can look at Kevin Owens leaving. You can look at Rollins and Jeff Hardy. You can look at Rollins saying, I'm going to lead Raw to victory. There were little stories going on throughout the entire match, throughout the entire program.
But when we had a program of like Raw and SmackDown where we could have promoted these, we promoted the future storylines after the paper.
Sure. And look, I understand there's no stakes. I know that's my biggest complaint on Survivor Series, but let's not pretend that VSK, let's look at Saban and Austin. There were no stakes here.
It was.
What were the stakes?
If Ace Austin won, he would have proved that he is better than Chris Saban. He could have moved on.
That's not a
stake.
stake.
Now Chris Saban has proved that he is still there. He is still relevant. He will continue on. So we may have one more match, and then they're going to have an exhibition title match.
That's not what a stake is, though.
It's going to be a stake. This is a stake.
Look at the Raw stakes. Then I led Raw to victory. I deserve a title match. My name's Seth Rollins.
That's what they should. But he already is in a title match. He already got the title opportunity.
But
so it made no sense.
But no, it even makes more sense according to your logic. If Ace Austin would have won, he would have proved he deserved a title match. Seth Rollins, who already won and proved he deserves a title match,
he's proved he should be a champion.
So yeah, there are storylines going into each match. I know the gimmicky pay-per-view is Raw versus SmackDown, but it had the same amount of storytelling going into these matches as this did. Like Saban versus Ace Austin and a T-shirt that says, I beat Chris Saban. Like, okay, sweet. Well, you lost to him tonight. Where does this go from here? What does it matter? Are we
this
gonna
goes for the rubber match.
I mean, and hey, that's fine, but this match was all right. It was an okay. And honestly, I expected way more from these guys because and it was good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't good. It was low key. The next couple matches, I mean, this match was a good opener as far as this is the real opener. Maybe it was because I watched it after Grace and Green, where I thought like that was really good, and then this match happened, and it was kind of like even Saban after the match, it kind of felt like it was in the arena because he was celebrating with the fans, kind of doing like a lot of this, like yes. So it kind of felt, what are we watching here? What is this? It felt real Bush League.
Go on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
A shiny uni. Thank you so much, Auld Lang Syne. I appreciate that, my friend. But I don't know. It was a good match. I'm not gonna say it's not. Now here's where things got a little confusing for me. How come VSK and Rich Swann happened on a pay-per-view? What is this? How come this wasn't on the pre-show?
Again, there was story behind this. So we remember, again, they had a BTI match with Sam Beal and Mr. Hawkins, Mr. Myers, the most professional wrestler.
Yes.
Where he did the concerto to Sam Beal and basically killed him.
Yes.
Now he has to go to the hospital. And Rich Swann that had that promo on Impact where he said, I'm going to be beating the brakes off of you, proving that this is what you shouldn't be doing. You're a coward. You're a piece of garbage. And so then, sadly, Matt Stryker tonight had to bring up that Brian Myers tweeted about his injury, that he can't show up. And the VSK said something completely different about the injury. And then Mr. Manny Lemons, Ziggy Dice said something completely different about the injury. So it could be anything. We don't know why Brian Myers didn't show up, since we have conflicting reports of what it could be. But Brian Myers sadly just could not show up for this match for a storyline reason. So it had to be VSK fighting Rich Swann to take his place because he's part of this learning tree.
Why
to
not
try to prove
just not have a match then, or put this on the pre-show? Why is this the second match on the card is my question. Like, this is definitely an Impact television match. You just brought up all this storyline. That's fantastic. I agree. Oh, tweets. I love when a storyline is based on tweets and Matt Striker. Those are my two favorite things. So this match happened on a pay-per-view, and it was supposed to be Rich Swann versus Brian Myers, which, by the way, I'm in. I like that. That sounds awesome. But I had to watch VSK versus Rich Swann. Like I thought Rich Swann might lose to somebody from the Learning Tree not named Brian Myers. Like, why? Why is this on the pay-per-view?
because we had to keep this going, so we will eventually.
And I watched
Brian
this.
Myers
By the way, I watched this match. I was like,
it was a good match.
I sat there like, should I fast forward this? And I'm just kind of like,
you just couldn't because it was a good match. They could wrestle. VSK is good.
So can
And Rich Swann's
Bianca.
great.
What is this? Like, no,
Yes.
this was like, I didn't give this a bad grade. I just said this was okay. It seemed like it could have been an Impact TV match. It's not even a main event on Impact. So here we are,
Yes.
second match on the show. And I felt, look, I'm going to say this: Rich Swann deserves better. What the hell was this? Even Willie Mack at ringside, I thought, why are you here? You should be in the main event tonight. Why are you a manager tonight? How come we don't have Rich and Willie against VSK and Zicky? Let's do something different. This was just lazy. So, not a big fan of this. Now, next match was pretty good. Morrissey versus Matt Cardona. I was very shocked because when they were in the ring together, I kind of thought this is Big Cass versus Zack Ryder. But once you get past that, once you start forgetting about WWE World and you watch this match, this was really good. Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Are these rumors true? Did you talk to Sean Ross Sapp? Is Morrissey's contract up and he's only re-signing for like Roman Reigns money?
I have no idea if that's entirely true. I haven't really read up anything about W. Morrissey and his contract, but I thought was good about this match is before the match, our good friend, the King of the Death Match, the GCW Universal Champion, the Internet Champion, Matthew Cardona, still wore his Effie attire that he wore when he fought Effie, the pink jacket with the spikes on to defend himself from Effie.
It was a cool jacket. Yeah, I think even
that he got to wear again.
Matt Striker liked the jacket. Of course, he liked it. So, yeah, that was a cool jacket, but this match was really good. Morrissey does look like a monster, and I understand why he would want more money, but this revealed so much to me that his contract is already up because didn't he join the company in April? So, this reveals not even almost a year. I mean, that's less than, what is that? That's not even 9 months, is it? Like, it just makes me realize when we lose guys like Johnny Mundo, Austin Aries, Brian Cage, all these guys that kind of come in and have a cup of coffee with Impact, main event, a couple pay-per-views and leave. This was I understand why that happens now. They'll sign a guy to an 8-month contract and then they'll get their name value up and then they'll go to AEW. So this opened my eyes to a lot of the problems with Impact Wrestling where you hear guys like the Good Brothers sign, 5-year deals or something. But if you're bringing in a Morrissey and you're just kind of thinking, oh, he might not make it, he might not work out here, so we'll just sign him to like an 8-month deal. Now here we are at the end of the 8 months, and he wants more money now. He's proved, hey, I can stay sober, I look great, you guys are using me correctly. Like, this makes sense, this works. And you don't want me to go anywhere else, right? You better pay me some money. But I have a feeling he can easily go to AEW now. I mean, he's really built that name up.
Yes, and that's the thing. He's really built himself up to be where he is now, which is the most over he's ever been, even when he was like calling Cassidy and sang in front of Aiden English, when that was an over bit.
Let's slow down on the most over he's been. Let's just...
Him solo, yes.
Thank you so much, Auld Lang Syne. Yeah, him solo. Yeah, probably.
What?
Thank you so much, Luxie. You are now a subscriber. Thanks to Auld Lang Syne. Thank you, Auld Lang Syne. Yeah, maybe as a singles, sure, but I'm also let's slow down because that Enzo and Cass stuff was pretty awesome.
Yes, but that wasn't him solo. That's it. Singles wise, this is the most over he's been.
What about him and D-Bry? That was awesome.
Yeah, where he hit a midget too hard and he got reprimanded.
Well, and that also, first of all, they're called little people, Gino. Holy shit. I can't believe you just said that out loud.
He calls them midgets.
No, they don't. They absolutely do not. Only in the 80s. But also, They would have been calling Hornswoggle that forever. They'd induct him into the Hall of Fame calling him that. But also, Gino, what the hell was I even going to talk about? Your slur just threw me off entirely. Oh, he was also drunk backstage at a show. Like there's a lot of drama behind the scenes of this WWE where he was not in a good place. Plus, wasn't he and Carmella like? Didn't they have a drunken dispute at a hotel in like Europe?
Yes, there was some issues apparently that was with their relationship too.
They did like a Drew McIntyre and Taryn Terrell, all right? This is where it had to go, okay? So, all right. But I think he's going to leave Impact because he's going to want more money, and I have a feeling Impact is very easy to just let these guys go because why would they not re-sign people like Johnny Mundo, Austin Aries, Brian Cage, Sting, my Santana and Ortiz, like all these people that leave Impact, it's for some reason they have to leave. So is Morrissey gone?
I think he may be gone. If he is, that's fine. And hopefully wherever he goes, be it AEW, most likely, or what I would kind of like, New Japan.
He can work there now anyway, though. Impact and New Japan seem to have a pretty good relationship.
And hopefully maybe he can. And then because that good relationship from there, he can then do shows in Impact. But as a New Japan talent like Jonah, which we could discuss soon.
Whoa, we're not there yet. Massive spoilers. Dude, is this
somebody that is named Jonah? That's somebody.
Dude,
it's just some random fan named Jonah. He was there in New Japan show and he was there in Impact.
So Inspiration versus Decay. Here's my note. It was okay. And then my second note was Havoc and Rosemary fit Impact Wrestling way more than the Inspiration. Watching this match with a smaller crowd and just the way they work, it felt like they are Impact, and it seems like the Inspiration are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It really felt they're so used to that WWE style. I don't know if they're trying to find the hard camera, but this was not very good. What'd you think of this match?
I thought it was a fine match. Again, the story that was being told throughout Impact's weeks to now about the Inspiration being scared of Decay because they're able to show them just appear, and they never really touched Inspiration except for the Impact 4 where they just pad their heads because they're going to take the titles. And spoilers, they didn't. The team is still the Inspiration. So they're getting prepared. Hopefully from this match, they're learning how to work this Impact style, which is different than WWE.
Sure.
The actual wrestling is more focused, and it's not like it's weird like how different an Impact wrestling match is than a WWE.
Go on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
No, one thing that I definitely like, especially with the Impact lately, is we talk about people in WWE talk about wrestling for the crowd, and they listen to the crowd. Like Adam Cole talked about this on all 9 of the podcasts he went on after he left WWE. And it is Sean told him, listen to the crowd, like slow down, like really make the crowd kind of earn it or work with you on it. Let the crowd tell the story just as much as you're telling the story. Impact doesn't have that because they don't have a lot. They have a crowd, but they don't have a lot of crowd noise to make you like want to see, like, let's wait for them. Let's wait for them to build up because then you hear 9 people going. So, and look, hey, I know it's Impact, okay? I'm probably going to go to Hard to Kill. I was even telling my wife, okay, we got December. Winter is coming to Garland. How do we not go? Hard to Kill is coming to Dallas. How do we not go? WrestleMania is coming to Arlington. How do we not go? There's so much wrestling. So I think
I'm sadly over here where I'm just like, I'm going to see Hard Times 2 possibly.
Hell yeah, Gino.
Here in Georgia.
You got to get a job first, though, and then you can go to Hard Times 2 and get good seats. You can meet Nick Aldis, the dealer, the former champion. You can meet Trevor Murdoch, the current champion.
The big person I want to meet is A-Double.
Oh, is he in NWA?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch.
You need to see this card. You need to see this card for sure.
This is out.
Like during the show, so even though it's like 1 week away, so we can discuss that next week.
This isn't a show. It's not a show. It's a discussion. That's what Kevin taught me. It's never called a show.
I'm saying the show is Hard Times 2.
You don't even say it about that. You don't even say it for that. You don't even bring that up. You say,
it's an high paper.
You just say hard paper. You just keep calling it Hard Times 2 because we're getting paid by the National Wrestling Alliance to repeatedly say the actual name of it. And we're also supposed to let people know to go to Fight TV to order it. Now, if you have Fight tokens, you're going to get some more of them because when you order Hard Times 2, you get double the Fight token reward. Isn't that outstanding?
It is outstanding. And that's what's good about Fight tokens and what's great with Fight.tv. that everyone should be using for their pay-per-views.
And you should be entering the promo code Pizza Hut Coke Vleeties at checkout to make sure you get these awesome rewards. Now, Gino, my favorite match of the night was this botch fest of an X Division triple threat match. This was the most Will Ospreay Ricochet match I've seen in a while, where I think these three guys backstage had a lot of great ideas. I think they had a lot of good stuff that they tried to talk out. Hey, I'm going to hold you by your waist and swing you this way. You're going to use your legs, wrap that guy by the head. You're going to do a Hurricane Rana. I'm going to do this. I think they talked a lot of this match out.
Yes.
And then when they got out there, this was I can't wait for Botchamania next month. It's going to be awesome. This match is going to be it's going to get its own song. It's so sloppy. Now, I'm not blaming any of the wrestlers. I think that this was just too much. We all thought, hey, we have three guys. Let's do Tower of Doom stuff. Let's do all these awesome triple threat things that we can do because two of us are high flyers and one of us is a muscle guy. It was not good. Let me hear your thoughts. What did you think of this match?
I thought this was my second favorite match of the entire
Really?
weekend.
Of the weekend?
Because it was so entertaining to me.
To watch these guys botch everywhere?
It was botching, but at the same time, like, you could see what they were trying to do. And you could see, like, that could have worked. And I think it did. But again, there were some issues, whether it be like them trying to then plan from that spot to set up for the next one. So they're like kind of preparing their bodies to land so they're ready for the next one right after. Or if it was just like they weren't in the exact moment because again, their heads were someplace else planning for the next spot, like I was saying.
This was one of the worst. I love that though, because it really does show like you're making me defend WWE because you're like, oh, they have no stories at all. And then you go over to Impact and you're like, oh, well, you know, Saban and Austin had this amazing story that they were telling. And then you go to this X Division triple threat match, which is, in my opinion, the worst. Since we're doing the weekend, which I never do, I never look at an Impact versus the WWE. This was the worst match of the weekend. This was worse than Finn Juice and the two other guys. Like, this was just kind of this is an X Division title match. Now, I know that you've been watching Impact since Green Ropes, but I thought this was like, I came back to Impact Wrestling because the X Division Championship was the most important title on this brand. It was TJP, Josh Alexander. I mean, I could say it over and over again. Ace Austin, Chris Bay. I have this whole new love of wrestling because of that X Division. It brought me back to watching more than just WWE and AEW. It reminded me I used to love Impact, and all this history is still here in this company. I want to watch it. I should be supporting it. And I should check out other wrestling. Like, it really plugs you into the indies a lot more than AEW and WWE do. So I have all this respect for this championship. So to watch this match of botch and botch and botch, and then the ending was botched, where
no, it wasn't. That was actually how it was supposed to be.
No,
he kicked out still.
The referee didn't hit the three. That's the botch.
Hit the three.
Brian Hebner was supposed to go 1, 2, 3. Laredo's shoulders down. Macklin's shoulders up.
He did hit the three on Laredo's
shoulders. He stopped counting it too. I watched it.
We gotta watch it back.
Even Matt Stryker was like, I don't know.
I saw the spot wasn't botching. If anything, it was Brian Hebner.
It was Brian Hebner, but that's still part of the match. Like again, nothing.
Ref was out of position. Fuck Brian Hebner.
I'm not giving any of the wrestlers' fault on this weird botch. Hey, we planned way too much stuff. Like
Macklin knew what he was doing. They knew what they were trying to do. They knew the story they were trying to tell. Macklin wasn't going to get pinned.
Yeah,
again, Trey's whole big thing is I'm going to pin you because you say I didn't pin you, and he still did.
Yeah,
Macklin is still unpinned.
I agree with all that stuff. 100%, I agree. No wrestler, no referees at fault. Everyone is trying to do certain things, and they planned all this stuff out. It when we watch our good friend Marky D123 Ring of the Hawk, and we talk about like the Jeff Jarrett overbooking. You know, this felt overbooked. It was, well, we can't have Macklin lose, so we'll do this cool finish. That'll look cool. Brian Hebner saw a shoulder go up and stopped counting. Hey, we have these two high flyers. Let's do a lot of spinny stuff. And it just didn't work. It was a really bad match. Now, I know you like it because as an indie fan, as a fan of independent wrestling, and you like to watch, oh, hey, at least they were trying. It's not WWE, so it's more.
And I honestly love bad matches too sometimes.
Sure. And hey, look.
I enjoy bad wrestling.
I'm glad you're admitting it, and I think we've all called you out on it before anyway. But
It's entertaining.
Definitely looking at like this match in particular, I thought this was so overproduced, overbooked, and not executed well. And I'm just sitting there watching it, and at the end, Trey Miguel's holding the X Division Championship, and I just thought, man, that belt used to be so cool a year ago. And
it still is cool. Trey Miguel is the right winner. We know this.
Sure, and look, I called Trey Miguel to get the victory anyway, but also it just, I was very disappointed that out of all the matches, like this was the X Division one. I don't really like Steve Macklin, but a lot of people like Steve Macklin, so hey, I'm on board. Let's give it a shot. I will watch this Steve Macklin. Let's see how it goes. And this was absolutely terrible. So we'll see where it goes. I'm not against seeing where it goes. I'm going to watch it back.
Won't do a triple threat. That might be the big issues. Like this is going to be the last time they do a triple threat.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Thank you.
TWFS says, what did Tony D'Angelo do tonight?
Yeah, Gino, you're the expert on all things Tony D'Angelo. Was he involved was he in the War Games now? That'd be exciting.
Yes, he is a part of this NXT 2.0 group fighting against NXT 1.0.
Wait, what's up with Von Wagner then? Is Von Wagner gonna break up with KO?
Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly are teaming up right now to face Legado del Fantasma next week to determine who's going to face Imperium for the tag titles at War Games.
Oh, that sounds terrible. So I guess Kyle O'Reilly's contract is coming up soon. He's leaving, right? Isn't it in January? I hope it's in January. I hope he leaves. Because
Malachi Black says, Vleeties, where the fuck is our companion poll?
For what? What is the companion poll?
We're going to do a poll for something when we have Thanksgiving. Nathan, we're here in America. We have Thanksgiving.
Nathan, Americans are spending time with their family. Even Gino told me he's got big plans with his family. So we're indisposed at the moment. But yeah, you can get a poll. We'll throw a poll up or something for next week. We can do a thing on next Thursday. That'd be fun. I would love to see that. But Gino, yeah. I got to be honest. This Knockouts match was okay. It was Mercedes Martinez and Mickie James, and I was excited to see what was going to happen with, because even you said you were not happy that Mickey's going to be the champion and not Mercedes Martinez. Deanna. Yeah, you thought it was going to be Deanna Mercedes. I have a feeling, I don't know. This match showed me why Mercedes Martinez did not work out in WWE.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, we got a chicken winner and a hand in hand from Nathan and All Blank Sign. I'm putting.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the Alexa bombs. What did you think, Gino? Did you like this match?
I did like this match. Again, I am a big fan of Mercedes Martinez. I've watched her for quite some time, just like Mickie. I've watched both them wrestle, seen some amazing matches from both of them that I can respect. Again, I do prefer Mercedes, and I felt, even after this match, which I thought was a fine match, I do still think Mercedes and Deanna would have been a better match.
So here's my biggest critique for Mercedes, and watch this match over and just let me know if it stands out to you like it did to me. Mercedes Martinez is the slowest person to pin somebody. And I think I know that's a little thing, but there would be times where Mickie James would be down and you're wondering what Mercedes is going to do next. Like, you know how a wrestler will stand up.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
A cash bang from the Macho Punk. Thank you, Macho Punk. I much appreciate that, my good sir. I appreciate all cash bangs, Gino. And you know who needed a cash bang was Mercedes, because she looked like every time Mickey's shoulders were on the mat, she looked like she got down to her knees, hooks the leg kind of slowly. It just didn't feel like there was any urgency whatsoever to win this match on her part. And I think that's a big WWE thing. Like, hey, you need to act like you want to win, because if you don't want to win, we'll bring somebody in here who does. So is that something that only I would notice, or did you notice that she might have been moving a little slow?
Again, for pins, I noticed sometimes where it was slow, but I could still understand what she was doing, is because if you do it quick, again, the opponent knows you're covering them. So they're able to be aware. So if you're slow, you're kind of methodical about you take your time. They might not notice until they hear the 3 count begin. So then they can quickly get up.
So you're saying if you're slow,
kind of sneaky and slow about it, they won't notice.
If you're slow and you give them more time to recover,
not time to recover. You do it because again, you might be trying to go for a hold or another move, and they don't expect it.
Right, exactly. Because
if you go for the pin, which they wouldn't expect, where they have to waste more of their energy, because that's the other big thing that people talk about with kickouts. you're using a lot of your energy to kick out more than they are to cover.
Exactly. So that's why you should cover immediately so they use all their energy. And then after 10 minutes of doing that, they'd be exhausted. Because, this was one of the weirdest slow pin matches I'd ever watched. I'd never seen a slow pin match before. Yeah, let's try this on our screens. Look at us, Gino. We're friends. So I think this was definitely a slow to pin match. And then Mercedes did something that I kind of thought you as a hardcore wrestling fan would go, that was disrespectful. She did a spider German suplex and let Mickey go and dumped her right on her head. And I thought, my gosh.
Yes, that was a great spot.
A great spot.
Yes, Mickey could land on her head. She could do what she knows how to take it.
Take a head bump?
Great.
What is this?
It's not entirely head, but John Cena's done it multiple times too.
To whom?
Brock German to John Cena right on his head. Again, so the spiders are easy to take because you're carrying them the entire
way. Oh, it's easy to take. Hold on, everybody. Let's listen to Gino.
Yeah, someone get me up the top rope and you can see that's going to be easy to take because, again, you're being guided the entire way down.
No, she wasn't, though. You need to rewatch it. She let her go, and it looked really bad. And if Vince
it looked great.
If Vince McMahon was back there, he would have fired her. I couldn't believe it. I thought the internet would be, you remember when Ric Flair did that thing on the airplane and everybody was like, oh, we got to kill him. I thought people were going to do that with Mercedes because that was not okay. I was very upset after watching that. So it's interesting that you're like, it's an easy bump to take. Mercedes is a pro. It's like, no, there's a reason why she's always been a pro on the indies and never, always a bridesmaid.
And on the mainstream.
Oh, when? What mainstream?
NXT.
She wasn't successful there.
She was there for a while, though.
But not successful. That's what I'm saying.
Longer than most people who get released by WWE.
No, she was not there longer than most people. Drake Maverick was there forever. I was like, are we getting rid of this fucking guy? So, yeah, this was, but and not only
Malachi
that.
Black says Gino cheese crusties.
Yeah, what's a cheese crusty? Gino, walk me through it.
I would assume he means is he talking about Pizza Hut?
Is that a thing? Do they have cheese crusties? Because if they have cheese crusties, you can use the promo code Vleeties and you get so much money back. Have you downloaded Get Upside, Gino? I know you don't have a car, you don't drive, but Get Upside's this amazing app where you get rebates on your gasoline. It's fantastic, especially when our president decides to shut down the Keystone Pipeline.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Thank you so much. He tries to put in vaccine mandates so all the dock workers quit their jobs because they don't want to get vaccinated. And now the prices of everything is going up and up and up and up, and he's blaming the unvaccinated for it, and he's blaming Trump. And all of that's going on, Gino. You know what really warms my heart is Get Upside. Go to Get Upside, use the promo code Vleeties, and you're going to get a rebate whenever you fill up at the pump. Right, Gino?
Yes, I believe so. Again, I don't know the app myself, but I believe you're telling the truth to the people. You're not one of these lying advertisers.
I made $6 last week, all right? It was awesome. All right, I can't wait. So, okay, Gino. Let's but it just made me realize why Mercedes didn't work out. I liked the match, thought it was good. It was just okay. And when Deonna came out at the end, it really seemed like, oh, the professionals are back. Now, do you think Mercedes is long-term impact, or do you think it was just like a 3-month contract?
It might have been just the short term. I would like it to be long-term because I would love to see Mercedes more.
Sure.
Again, I am a big fan of hers. I know you're not as much because you didn't really care to follow her for that long.
I watched her in NXT.
Pretty much know her from NXT.
Yeah,
which NXT is fine, which is a good time period. Please see some of her matches, but yeah, that's the thing. But she's been working for a while, and I would love her to be with Impact more. But if she's not,
4 kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Thank you, Macho Punk.
Hopefully, we see her somewhere soon, whether it be Impact or AEW, because AEW really needs more women.
They got a lot now. I'm kind of starting to realize
they do, but they need to fix the situation there with booking the women.
Once they get rid of Nyla and Jade Cargill, I mean, that women's division is going to be stacked. So, okay. Now, Jonah debuts. He beats up our hero, Josh Alexander.
Yes.
Kind of an awesome way to debut him. They're trying to make him a monster. He looks like a big teddy bear, though. Why do I got to hate this guy? He kind of looks like you, except more hair, Gino. What's this about?
Listen, Jonah Rock is really cool.
Just Jonah. Hey, Jonah.
I know, his name is just
Did
Jonah
you see the
now.
video wall?
I know it's not Jonah Rock anymore. It's just Jonah because he's a monster, just has one name now.
Yes, thank you. Titan.
Not two names. Yes, I wanted Titan to beat up Josh Alexander, but no, we got Jonah, which is good. And that whole promo Josh said was amazing. And he's trying to get back to the weapon that you want.
Yes.
Because he was saying like how, yes, I did this for my family, and then Moose stole it from me, so he's going to go at him at full force. But Jonah just beats the hell out of him, makes him bleed internally. So Jonah got a big moment and a big push. And very soon, like this next New Japan Strong show, Jonah actually has a match against David Flair.
David Flair, what?
Yeah, he gets to beat up David Flair because David Flair's dad told Jonah to be serious and beat people up. So it's on his dad. This is why Jonah's going to beat the hell out of David Flair.
David Flair's dad? What do you mean, Ric Flair?
Not David Flair, but David Finley.
Holy shit.
Finley, mixed the two, David.
You got all of us watching New Japan for a night. We were like, David Flair's going to wrestle again? We got to check this out.
Finley, who's a better wrestler than David Flair.
Yes, I would agree with that. Although David Flair and Crowbar and Daphne, pretty fun times in my life. So, okay, either way.
No one likes Crowbar in 2021.
We all love Crowbar. What do you mean? Who doesn't like Crowbar? What did he do?
I tried to show Mr. Kevin Scampoli a match that Crowbar had in 2021 in AEW Dark. He didn't like it at all.
Was he
live?
like
Crowbar and Big Blue Meanie was there.
Was he doing a live podcast and you thought it would be great to watch a match?
Yes, to show him this Dark match.
Oh, okay.
AEW Dark match with Crowbar.
So yeah, we right in the middle of a live stream, we were like, hey, let's stop everything and watch a Crowbar match.
Crowbar in 2021.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. It doesn't matter what year. I want to make it clear. In the middle of a broadcast, podcast, live stream, whatever we do, you wanted us
to catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, a hot dog from Odd Length Sign. Thank you so much for the hot dog. I love a good hot dog, Gino. So, okay, yeah, we can watch David Flair after this. So, David Flair rules. I don't know why you're against him versus Jonah at, what's it called? Malice in the Valley or whatever? What's it called?
But that already happened. Battle of the Valley. That's why we had the whole face-up with Moose and Jonah already happened.
Moose. Okay, either way. Perfect title defense for Moose. Main event was fantastic. I watched this like right before we had to go live. Outstanding match. Really a good match for Eddie too, because I didn't think Eddie was going to win anyway. Eddie's he's like AJ Styles. Remember when AJ Styles fought Bobby Roode? Like that was Bobby Roode's first title defense. It was just, we got to get Bobby Roode some victory. Does that look like a lick? We got to get Bobby Roode some victories here. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you that this was a good match. I never thought Eddie would win at any point, though.
Yeah, I did not believe Eddie could win the match at any point. It was a great match still, I felt. I think the match of the night being that Full Metal Mayhem.
Keep talking.
Yes. I can see what you're doing. That's very nice of you.
Blacklist check test. Don't know. Thank you so much, Quigley Johnston. I appreciate that. Prove to me honor is real, bro. So, Gino, before we go tonight, so ultimately, this pay-per-view was not as good as Survivor Series, just as far as my overall enjoyment. I think there were some... Look, I enjoy Jonah's debut. I enjoyed Moose. The Good Brothers, I just skipped over because what a snoozer. Remember when they were like the hottest free agent tag team and they did not bring it? Do they not care anymore?
They still are a great tag team.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
A pizza.
Again, my issue, I think it is that they had Chris Bay.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Another pizza. Thank you so much, All Blank Sign. We're really rocking.
Really good. And like him teaming with Hikuleo. And I think the issue there is that Hikuleo is used to New Japan, with the New Japan style of matches. So like he's like kind of being guided to like how you can do this and how you should do this here in Impact. And then Chris Bay's kind of guiding him to work a tag team match.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, and a hot dog from Kev Be Cool.
So I do think that's the bigger issue. So
poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. It's not a fault of the Good Brothers.
Oh, that was a hydrate spell, and I drank that water quick, and it fell down my chin, Gino. It's not the fault of anybody. It just was a bad match. Yeah. I'm not calling out any particular of those dudes. I just think watching that tag match was painful. It was just boring. Like we talk about Usos and RK Bro having this fun, energetic tag team match. This match just felt like, almost like an NJPW strong match where it was the crowd was sitting on their hands, and there was nothing exciting about it. Even like the Gallows super kick spot, like they do.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Another cash bang from the Macho Punk. Outstanding. Thank you so much, Macho Punk. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Auld Lang Syne, and thank you, Gino. But this was definitely, like looking at it compared to Survivor Series at least felt like every match was like, I know that not every match was great, but it just felt like the theme of that pay-per-view, it all worked. Where VSK versus Hawkins, this tag match between the Bullet Club, it just didn't really feel, even the Inspiration kind of put up a dud. Like I left that match thinking Rosemary was pretty good. Like it was just not that great of a night altogether. It was still a good show. Like I'm glad I watched it all. Kind of wish I fast forwarded through some of it, but I didn't.
Macho Punk says, love ya, Vleet dog.
I love you, Macho Punk. I watched Turning Point. I did it. And
such a good show. And
Steve Macklin really shat the bed. Well, hey, and if you love watching bad wrestling, like you said, then this was great. Like, it was awesome to watch Trey Miguel and Laredo Kid botch around the ring with Macklin. And then it kind of, I don't know, it was terrible. So, either way.
There's something you forgot, though, since we're talking about, we don't want to go too far ahead of ourselves.
Sure.
They did make an announcement at the Impact Plus event for Hard to Kill. You remember the big announcement?
You had to pay to view it. Yes. Was that on the pay-per-view? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was on the pay-per-view. They had Scott D'Amore backstage talking about history, that Impact likes to make history, have these big moments, that we're going to do something big for Hard to Kill, which is going to be the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I don't know who's in it yet. Hopefully, we keep the Inspiration far away. Hopefully, Emma comes back. What is happening? Where's Tennille Dashwood? Where's Madison Rain? They better be in it.
Again, we're going to have to figure out who's going to be like the people, because again, they're going to need to do a spot like a Kazarian spot that they do, where they just jump on from like what would it be, like a truss that they do from the top of that onto the ropes.
Was that Kazarian, or are you talking about when Daniels did the jump?
Splitmaster Sexy says the girls can't even hold themselves up.
They do have weaker upper body strength, Gino. What's going to be their solution?
We don't know. They might do what they do at some house shows that he did, where they had like the Hardys or somebody get a ladder, and they went by climbing a ladder.
Dog shit. Jeff Hardy did that on a pay-per-view. They had an exhibition
match. Yes, he did. They had an Ultimate X where he just grabbed the ladder and won.
Which part of the X Division used to be that, or at least that match was, ladders were not allowed. Like that was part of it, but whatever. So
no, they used the ladder. But that was some of the Kazarian spot where he did that leg drop onto, I think it was Sean Dafari.
Oh, so yes. Okay, the move. Yes, that'll be cool. We'll see what moves are done off.
Some type of move with the woman.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We can do some sort of crossbody. I'm okay with that. So Chelsea Green.
Seeing it live, which is going to be great. She could be in there. Who knows? Anyone could be out there.
I will be there. Well, it might even be better to watch it on pay-per-view, so I can hear Matt Stryker talk about how this is the greatest.
You're going to be missing Matt Stryker.
This is the greatest match. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Yeah, the Barclays Premier League has been around for a century, and those athletes are now at the top of their game, just like the Knockouts. Like, okay, we got it.
Yes, but again, he's going to be talking all about history and these history-making moments that Impact has done, and that this being a first time ever that Impact has done.
Speaking of history, Gino, Matt Taven described the final ROH tapings like they were his own funeral. Now, Matt Taven is our favorite wrestler, okay? He is easily, hands down, the greatest in-ring tactician that the world has ever seen. He's
soul of ROH.
He's a master of storytelling. Him and Vincent, the match they had at the Police Academy, what a banger. If you haven't watched it, go to Honor Club and use promo code Pizza Hut, and you will get a discount. Such a great event, the 19th anniversary show. How bad was that show, Gino? Did you watch it?
It wasn't. There were good matches. Like EC3 and Jay Briscoe was a good match.
Was it?
Yes.
All right, we're going to have to watch it because it was terrible.
Yes.
I'm going to get Honor Club for this final battle. Maybe we'll just show everybody the pay-per-view. Hey, guys, check it out. So,
a final battle.
Ring of Honor's upcoming hiatus. The promotion is releasing all the talent from their contracts. Matt Taven relayed a story on the ROH Strong podcast, which, Gino, how come I never get any clips from that?
I've not really thought about looking into the ROH Strong podcast.
I never even heard of it. I'd never heard of this ROH Strong podcast. It reminds me of NJPW Strong. Taven relayed a story from when OGK was at the last set of ROH tapings. The locker room
That's his
was.
group name.
I know what it is. Okay.
Just making sure the people maybe they don't know that that's him and Mike Bennett's group name.
Gino, people that are still.
Malachi Black says Velvet Sky and Bully Ray broke up. Gino wants SS her salad and eat her poontang pie.
Would you do both of those things, Gino, to Velvet Sky?
Probably not.
Really?
They're separated. Again, I'm not entirely sure about fully breaking up. They're still cool. So again, if I were to do it, he might want to beat me up.
Even if he did, would you still do it?
No.
He can't kill you. You're fine.
Bully Ray would do everything close to kill.
Nah, you can get away with it. I'm very sad they broke up. It's probably because of this Ring of Honor nonsense. They were all pot committed to Ring of Honor. So, and yes,
it's guys with NWA.
I would also like to point out that you did not let the people know who Matt Taven was, but as soon as I said OGK, you were like, oh, the thing with Mike Bennett, they don't know what that is. No, we all know Mike Bennett. We don't know Matt Taven.
Not everyone knows Mike Bennett.
We love the prodigy Mike Bennett, okay? We're all big fans. We love the Miracle. We all watch Green Rope TNA. So this, the locker room was really upset until the women's division lifted their spirits. I kept describing to people what the last tapings were like, and I was like, man, I never knew what it would be like at my own funeral, but I think I experienced the closest thing to that. So yes, this is really, I mean, it is sad. You got to think about it. This is the last time all of these guys who have been doing these television shows for years, because how long has Matt Taven been with Ring of Honor?
Again, I could check Cage Match to be specific.
Oh, thank goodness you have Cage Match. I'm very happy that we have Cage Match at our fingertips at any moment. So, yes, I don't know how long Matt Taven's been there, but it's definitely been more than 5 years, right?
I would assume so.
You would assume so. Okay, good. So, real big Ring of Honor fan, me and Gino over here. We know how long everyone's been there. But and he adds to it. He says, I remember walking into the lobby after I flew in. I was very positive after getting the news, and I was just kind of upbeat. And I came in, there were all these sad faces in the lobby, so immediately I just go to the dumbest thing that I can think of. I'm like, what's up, sad boys? I thought it would get a big laugh, but not at all. All these guys are uncertain about their future and stiff. But the next day, the women's division uplifted the entire locker room because they were so positive and they were just so happy. And that's actually a really good point because the women's division wasn't a thing. I mean, this was kind of the first year they brought back their Women of Honor. They did the tournament over the summer, and this was supposed to be a huge saver for the company. And, of course, it kind of didn't work out that way. But the girls appreciated everything that the company had tried to do for them, and I wish I knew that what went down because the next day it was like night and day from when people landed in the airport, and it really all came from that women's division from picking up the locker room. So Ring of Honor is getting ready for Final Battle. Gino, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett, the greatest tag team in Ring of Honor history, is going to be taking on the second greatest tag team in Ring of Honor history, the Briscoes. This card's not looking too bad other than the main event. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have Honor Club, I believe, for this month. I think it's going to be worth it to at least watch this one show because what is it, $10?
I believe so. And it should be absolutely worth it. And I did double check. He's been in ROH since 09.
Oh, see, that's way more than 5 years. That's 12.
Yes.
Good for him. Yeah, I mean, look, there are guys that I look at him, Dalton Castle. These guys are Ring of Honor born and bred. That's just where they're going to be. So I don't know where they're going to go. I really don't.
Which, speaking of Dalton, did you read the results of recently about Dalton that he's a champion again?
Where? What happened? How did he do it?
He's a TV champion. ROH.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I saw that there was like I just saw the headline. I didn't actually open it or read it. I didn't watch Ring of Honor last night, so I don't know. But so far we got 5 matches announced. One of them includes Allison Kay, who I like.
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Whoa, a top one. We the ones. We the ones. Thank you, Auld Lang Syne. A top one. Look at my finger, Gino. Look at that. Look at that finger. That's the one. Put your ones up. Oni Lorcan. Where's Biff Busick at, Gino?
He's been streaming playing casino games.
Hell yeah. I love the casino. That's awesome. Good for him.
Blackjack and poker.
Sounds productive. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Titles. Briscoes OGK. That'll be a great match. Literally, I'm saying that honestly. That would be good. ROH Pure Title. Brian Johnson versus Josh Woods. Those sound like two people that I work with. Are these wrestlers?
They are wrestlers.
All right. Are they good?
One of them is the pure champion. Yes, the pure champion is really good, Josh.
Josh Woods is awesome, I bet. I've never watched him. 6-man tag championships, Shane Taylor production. Oh, wait, what was this?
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white
Thank
kids.
you so much, Auld Lang Syne. A King's Trove. That's awesome. That's fun. A King's
Poor
Trove.
kids are just as bright and just as
An
talented
on
as white
fire
kids.
spell. Another on fire spell. It's just coming at me. It's coming at me.
ROH is on
Poor
fire,
kids
so
are just
he's
as
enjoying
bright and
ROH
just as
this
talented
much.
as white
You know
kids.
what? Going forward, we're only talking Ring of Honor. We are the Ring of Honor podcast. We are ROH Strong 2. We'll be called ROH Stronger, and that's all we talk about. So the 6-man, why does it say 6-man World Tag Team Champion Shane Taylor versus Kenny King? Is that a one-on-one match?
I don't know if it's one-on-one.
Oh, it's not for the belt. Okay. It's not for the belt. It says,
champions.
yeah, it
That's
just says that Shane Taylor is a 6-man tag champion. He's in a one-on-one match against Kenny King. And then the main event is Bandito versus Jonathan Gresham, which is, I mean, I don't mean to be this guy, Gino. I know why this company's dead. Like that's definitely it. This match this would be the main event of 205 Live, maybe.
No.
What do you mean no?
Jonathan Gresham's really good. And again, I'm really interested in this new promotion he's going to be a part of. I'm curious.
He's got his own company now, right?
Yes.
All
That's coming up soon, which I'm curious how that's going to go.
We'll see. I mean, hey, look.
Because it might be like Bloodsport or it could be different. Again, what he described seemed like Bloodsport.
It could be just pure rules. He could just take that concept, all these matches that he had where the rules were a little different. They can easily make a whole promotion out of that. Because even watching Ring of Honor, when they would bring out the pure rules matches, at least it was something different. Like you would wonder why Ring of Honor was, when you compare Ring of Honor apples to apples with Impact, WWE, AEW. No offense, it's clearly worse. And like you don't watch it, so yeah, it's clearly worse. And when they had the Pure Rules matches, at least it was something different. If you did a whole card of that, like my favorite episodes of NXT UK are Heritage Cup Rules matches because those are different. It's just like, oh, this is, I did not expect this. Because otherwise, like if I watch Jonathan Gresham and what's the tall guy that he's 6'5" but wrestles like he's a cruiserweight?
6'5" wrestles cruiserweight that's in ROH.
Yeah, can't remember his name. He had a generic.
I don't remember his name either. Like Roosh is 6'8" kind of wrestling. Like
no, not Roosh is a cruiserweight.
Yes,
I'm talking actual. Like I forget the guy's name, but either way, that guy and Gresham, I would not want to watch that match ever. But the fact that it was this unique Pure Rules thing, I checked it out and I actually really enjoyed it. So, I think that's okay. I think that they should do an entire promotion of that. At least for Ring of Honor, what's going to be your niche? You guys need to have some sort of niche because you're just right now they're the sixth best wrestling company in the United States, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Or sixth most successful. I don't know how you can determine like.
Yeah, and there's not really an easy way to determine because again, it's still Sinclair Broadcasting, so like that's a bigger name to an extent compared to Access.
But Access is they're owned by Anthem. Anthem is just as big as Sinclair, I would argue. So it's not necessarily network to network, but I would say Sinclair and Anthem are very similar. But you look at Impact as far as fan base, as far as ratings, and as far as Impact Ultimate Insiders. Even Ring of Honor Club is $10, and I have no interest. I had it for 2 months, and the app never worked. I was very annoyed by the app. And I know everyone talks about Peacock being terrible. The Ring of Honor crowd, as small as we are very upset about how shitty the app is on Roku. It was very, very bad. So you look at that, you look at them versus Impact. Like Impact Plus app was awesome. It was very well done. This whole YouTube thing they're doing is very well done. So but I would say WWE, AEW, then I would go to Impact, and then I would probably go to, I mean, you got NWA. GCW is they're no slouch either. I mean, they're exclusively like Fight TV.
Pay-per-views.
Yeah, they only do IPPVs.
Which is going to be what pretty much ROH might do in like after they come back in April. It's just going to be, hey, we're going to have a show. It's going to be one of the days, and also GCW is going to have a show.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do with like Beyond Wrestling and the other promotion. Hybrid.
Beyond is not GCW? I always get that mixed up. No,
they're completely different promotions. GCW is its own thing, but there's other promotions that do shows with GCW on like the Fridays or Thursdays before like a 2-night GCW.
Okay, that makes sense. Like, why not? But yeah, it's like I just look at Ring of Honor. They had all this momentum. They were the number 3 company for over 10 years. And they let Cody Rhodes, they let the Young Bucks, they let all this talent, all these headliners, they let them all make their own company for some reason.
And they supported this one pay-per-view that turned out to be a huge success and then now became their downfall.
Why wasn't it just, Why wasn't it just called Ring of Honor All Out? Like, why not do that? Why did they not do that? You even look at the Jericho Cruise. Wasn't that Ring of Honor technically the first one?
Yes, but it was Jericho's Cruise where he just had these Ring of Honor guys because, again, slowly taking all these talents away and ruining ROH.
And if you were Ring of Honor, why are you not just saying, hey, let's stop like just sucking everything away from us? Like, it should be Ring of Honor Dynamite on Wednesdays, but for some reason, Ring of Honor just like did they want to stay small? Like, I don't know what the strategy was or the plan was.
They wanted to probably stay again pure and like real wrestling and try and focus on like a sports presentation. Then AEW says they're gonna do that. They have the records that they don't even follow.
Oh yeah, the record was stupid. Like Hangman Page was undefeated.
Colton Gunn is the most winningest person right now because he's never lost.
He's
Colton's the better brother. Austin's lost, but Colton Gunn is the real best wrestler.
And yeah, the records don't mean shit. He's I have a great record.
Undefeated in every match type.
I have a great record. Woo! I got a great record.
No
That's
losses.
Awesome.
Only wins.
But again, very excited for this.
Yes.
Very excited for this Ring of Honor show. Another note from just from our good friends over at Wrestling Inc. Jeff Hardy's contract is, or he teases that a Hardy Boys reunion once his contract expires.
Yes.
So we have not seen
one way or another.
Yeah, it's gonna happen eventually, right? Like
he's gonna Matt and Jeff are gonna come together. He says that that's still what he wants as well, or at least he's wanting, and he knows like eventually their paths are gonna coincide one way or another in this world of wrestling that we're in.
Yeah, and even this current run in WWE for Jeff, I feel like we all want more. You know, it does feel even the stuff with Shane.
And he wants more.
Sure, he wants more. Like remember they had one episode of him in the 24/7 division, and the internet revolted.
Yep.
Like 80 wrestlers have been fired this year, and we were not as mad as when Jeff Hardy was in a 24/7 championship segment. Like that was the one thing that we were.
And people were more happy that Jeff Hardy beat Karrion Kross in 2 minutes by feet on the ropes.
That was awesome. Yeah, I was okay with that. The Karrion Kross,
very young talent.
Is he young? He's like 33. That's not that young.
Younger than Jeff.
But Jeff's still got a lot of gas in that tank. And we're selling shirts here, Gino. I think Jeff could still move some tees. I don't think Karrion can move the tees. But also,
Killer Kross can.
I like that. I was going to say, I like that Killer Kross is already back promoting stuff and ready to get back out there. I think he's better as a big guy on the indies. Because like I've said, when I saw him in a WWE ring, he looked kind of small. I like he's perceived big. He looks big at like somehow standing next to Scarlett. You're like, this guy's.
Tyler Spida says Jeff is going to snap one of these days.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with some sort of crazy masked, goofy Jeff Hardy, the Fiend Jeff Hardy.
Just a goofy itchweed character where he's just crazy and he's just has his weed whacker.
What's the itchweed is from the Broken Universe, right?
Broken / Hardy Show.
The Hardy Show. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. His Hardy Show character. He had the whole like hat that has the ears things, and he has the weed whacker.
Is that when he was the most on drugs?
It might have been.
Yeah. So I don't know if he wants to.
Fun character. He could bring.
Oh, so drugs.
Break.
Drugs are a good time, Gino. I agree with you. It's like why take yourself seriously? Just do a bunch of drugs and get out there and work.
And then be Vince Russo, the Antichrist of professional wrestling, like he was when he was in Immortal.
Yeah, see, just live your best life, Jeff. Why are you wasting time?
Yeah, see, he's having all his fun now that he's old, and he's able to help all this young talent and not be a dickhead like he was at TNA.
Was he a dickhead though? I mean, it was just that selfish move. I hear he wasn't
selfish.
Yeah, it wasn't like a dick. He wasn't a dickhead. He wasn't known as being one of the worst people to work with.
Unless we find out that, because I don't know if he said it, was that chair shot an accident or was it on purpose?
Which one?
Kennedy.
Which one?
The one that made him have to have all those stitches in the back of his head, the chair shot to his back, that then became a gimmick that Jeff would do. But the first one that he did to Mr. Anderson.
Is this This is TNA? This is TNA we're talking?
TNA, when he was the Antichrist professional wrestling.
This is 2010
and
TNA.
he started using this chair shot gimmick where he would smack people in the back of the head because he did that to Ken Anderson, and that stopped Ken's push for a minute.
All right. I mean, if he kept doing it, I don't know. I mean, it's just
at first he did. I was like, is this purposeful?
Yeah. Are they going to
he fucked him up with a chair that might have been gimmick, but again, there was the whole
says Itchweed is goat.
That was that Itchweed is goated. He's saying it's
Yes,
goated.
people love Itchweed.
All right. I'm down for Itchweed. I like a Weed Whacker gimmick. I think Weed Whacker would be a great wrestling weapon because it can't kill you, but it definitely would hurt to get attacked by a Weed Whacker. That'd be a great.
Yes, he also had this great spot during Total Nonstop Deletion where he put, I think it was Spud in a sleeper hold and he fell asleep.
Oh, Jeff fell asleep.
Yeah, Itchweed fell asleep. And Itchweed's with 3 E's. That's the Itchweed with 3 E's.
Nice. That sounds terrible. Yes. I can't wait for it to be on.
Weed.
Can't wait for that to be on Fox. That's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be what Fox is one is Jeff Hardy as a completely different character.
Not a different character. Itchweed. That's what
an
you're
old
saying.
Character. Itchweed.
So Nathan brought it up. I have not watched NXT though, so I don't think I've watched NXT for like 2 weeks. There's a men's War Games match, a women's War Games match. Why is Joe Gacy getting a cruiserweight title match? Is he less than 205?
Well, here's the thing. We have now discussed, because here's what happened. Joe Gacy was originally going to have a match with LA Knight tonight.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
They originally was going to be this. But Grayson Waller beat up LA Knight, so they were just fighting backstage, just fighting throughout the entire backstage area. So they could not have the match. So Joe Gacy is just talking. He's trying to talk about how, again, he's going to be about inclusivity and how he wants to help better people. And one of the big lines he had, because eventually Malcolm Bivens.
Do you legit like this guy, or is this like a bit where you said earlier that you like bad wrestling? Like this is, he's not good at talking.
He's entertaining as hell. He's a good promo.
To Joe you, Gacy okay, all right, I'm with you now. All right, I agree, Gino. He's a good promo. We're winking.
No, he is a good promo.
Yeah,
no wink.
Real good. He's awesome. I agree.
No winking. He's a good promo. Look, it's a good character.
I like bad promos and bad characters too.
This is not bad. I'm telling you, people are getting behind Joe Gacy.
Which ones?
They're getting behind Andre Chase.
I never trust you when you say
people.
people.
In the NXT arena.
If
you don't watch it, the people are responding to it.
All right, I can't wait to watch
so that's what they care. Remember, WWE cares about the responses and the live crowds. And they both get good responses, Andre Chase and Joe Gacy.
Was Chase out in the arena tonight? He's always backstage.
Andre Chase was backstage with his students actually in the arena backstage.
Hell yeah.
The medical facility area.
The crowd was going apeshit, right?
Yes, there was a big crowd pop for it because he was teaching his students.
That's awesome. I love Andre.
What matters here is Joe Gacy.
Yeah, I love Joe Gacy. I love him. Stop talking. We love him. He's our favorite.
TWFS says live crowds mattered in 1999. Now we have Peacock.
We have Peacock, Gino, and this show
still matters to him.
This show is not on Peacock.
Here is why Joe Gacy has this cruiserweight title match. Because when he was face to face with Roderick Strong, he talked about how the cruiserweight division in itself is all about body shaming.
Yes,
and it's just disrespectful, and you just you need to be inclusive and understanding and accepting of people. So he's wanting to help better the cruiserweight division and the cruiserweight championship. So he's gonna have this match against Roderick Strong because Roderick Strong accepted it. Malcolm Bivens signed, sealed, and delivered it. We're getting this cruiserweight title match: Joe Gacy versus Roddy.
Yes, that sounds awesome.
Strong is all about, again, his name. He made fun about Roderick Strong's name because it's all about toxic masculinity.
Well, hold on. What about bullying? That's bullying. He was born that way.
He's bullying too. No, Roderick Strong was not born with the name Roderick Strong. He chose that name.
No, he's born. You're born with your name, Gino. You can't just choose a name. Your name is Gino. You were given that name by your parents, okay? Your first name Sonic, last name Gino. His name is Roderick Strong. That's not okay.
So then his parents gave him a name that was focused and was all about toxic.
Roderick? How is Roderick? How is Roderick?
Strong.
Is it strong? That's a last name. You don't choose that. That's handed down from generation to generation. And even Roderick, is it because it's a
strong family?
It's because it's a dick reference. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying Roderick?
Yes, that as well, because it's male masculinity. It's again toxic masculinity.
Well, how come he gets to be Joe Gacy? That's about that rapist clown murderer. Like, you can't do that. You got to choose a different name.
That's a good question. See, again, you need to look up this promo. I could pull it up for you.
And Joe is also no. We're not going to watch that. I got to be honest. Joe Gacy might be one of the reasons I gave up on NXT. It's not fun. I like fun wrestling, and it's not fun for me. And he's not funny, and he's not interesting. He's terrible.
Yes, we have Joe Gacy who's going to win the cruiserweight title.
Where does he shop? You can shop where Joe Gacy shops, so you can go on your job interview.
I don't know where he shops. He probably shops at the WWE Performance Center area where they make their stuff.
That's Van Heusen. All right, we know what that is. We know it's Van Heusen. Let's not pretend that that's like, oh, we gotta go see wardrobe. Go to creative services. Like, no, they got that at Macy's. You can go get that stuff, Gino. Where's the nearest Macy's?
I have no clue. Nearest Macy's.
Or about the nearest J.C. Penney?
No clue.
You're in Marietta, Georgia. You're in a pretty populated area. It's not like you live in the sticks. Like, I don't know why you don't know where anything is. I bet I could find.
I live in a cul-de-sac, though. My area is a cul-de-sac.
What does that mean? Like, you have your own little
actual cul-de-sac, an actual like area, and then it's a street.
But have you like never?
It's an own like housing space, and we do go out, but like I have no reference like how far stuff is to other stuff.
Do you think it's okay, Gino? Come on, we got to get you into the real world.
No one cares about the real world when we're all going to die and actually get into what the real world is.
What do you mean? What does that mean? Heaven?
This is just, again, a perspective of what we believe reality to be, but reality is something more when we do pass on.
So you're going to be...
This reality is something more.
But why are you going to be useless here when you might as well just be the best you can in both of those places?
That's the thing. I'm trying my best to get back into that mindset to be better than I am right now. I'm just right now in a bad, negative headspace and mindset. So I'm trying to do better and better myself by slowly working and taking care of this.
Slowly, and that's the key word. That's the very key word.
Because I've been taking it a little bit slower than I should.
Too slow.
It's getting me better. It slowly is getting me better and making me better.
Yes, we're making you better. You need to be like Joe Gacy. Do you think Joe Gacy sits around and goes, "Oh, I wish I could be a wrestler"? No, he got up and did it. Okay.
Splitmaster Sexy says it's a flat prison, Gino.
Oh, we're on a flat Earth. Are you a flat Earther, Gino?
I don't believe that's it. No.
Well, that's you don't believe that's it.
I don't believe that's the case because I don't think we're in like it said prison or prism. I didn't.
Both. Are we in a prism?
I don't know if he meant like we're in a flat prism, like that our planet is just a prism, or that we as people are stuck in a prison. Then that's what this reality is until we pass on.
So that's how you live your life. You're like, you know what? This is all useless anyway. I might as well wait to die. Like,
I have become more nihilistic in time. Yes.
Is that nihilistic? I feel like that's just
when you don't believe that anything happens. It just is kind of. Everything just is equally not important. Everything is just null.
You believe in nothing. You're like the guys from Big Lebowski.
Again, yes, that was them making fun of nihilism.
Because it's
Seth
silly.
Rollins
Hold on, because it's silly. What do you mean?
It's not entirely silly, the whole idea like non-believing and stuff. Because again, they were doing it in like a joking way, but like people like Seth Rollins, who actually is a nihilist, had this whole good discussion with Jimmy Jacobs about nihilism.
Sure, is he though? Because he definitely believes in something. You could tell.
No, I'll show you his podcast.
He believes in work.
Jimmy Jacobs doesn't. No,
he believes in working hard. He believes in getting up, and even though he does, like, even if you think, oh, I don't believe in anything, he still believes in being successful and trying hard and making the most out of his time here on this rock.
Doing what he can to better himself, and he also has the idea of understanding that the stuff that happens here in this life doesn't mean everything. So because it doesn't mean anything, it equals out to that everything is equal in meaning, so everything matters to him.
But isn't that such a selfish way of thinking, where you don't realize that you're leaving behind a legacy? And that is such a depressing way to think, that whatever I'm doing right now doesn't matter because I don't matter. When you could leave behind some sort of a legacy that does transcend just your life. Like, you know, not even like, I have my son. Obviously, I want to make the world a better place for him and with him and through him. And even something like this, where this is some form of entertainment that I know, you know, you brought it up to me. People have brought it up to me. Like this literally helps people. Like, this is something that in 10 years, somebody might go back and listen to and go, you know, I like finding this time capsule. It's the same with the YouTube channel through Kevin. Like, people can leave behind a legacy and do things that matter. So when people like you and Seth Rollins just decide, you know what, we're going to die, it doesn't matter. You can have that mindset, or you might as well just make the most of it, because you can leave behind something. There's something beyond just this moment right now.
And it's possible that's the case. Again, my whole way of thinking and kind of in that same vein is me trying and wanting to, again, do something where I can be kind of remembered more by people, because, again, with the limited people that I know personally and I'm close with, I know that eventually when I do pass on, my memory will fade in no time at all.
And that's a
So
problem,
I do
though.
want to live and kind of have people be able to remember. I mean, that's why I'm wanting to go out there and actually try podcasting and live streaming.
Do it
again,
though.
so I have people, and I'm going to. That's the thing. Tomorrow gotta be doing more testing and figure out what I can do to fix my whole situation. Since I just have a laptop to run everything on.
So there is a Macy's in Kennesaw. There's a Macy's in Kennesaw. There's another Macy's in Kennesaw.
Kennesaw is a popular area.
There is even one more Macy's in Kennesaw. So it looks like if you just go to Kennesaw, you're going to be swimming in Macy's. There's like 7. Yes. So I've never heard of that many Macy's in one area. So, Gino, I mean, look at this city. There's so much to do. Like, I'm shocked that you're not outside living it up. Like, here, oh my gosh. The Archibald Howell Home Historical Marker. Visit Marietta. Oh, Tiny Bubbles T-Bar. What's that? Well, T-Bar. You like T-Bar?
Yes, but I don't like bubble tea.
Oh, good
that's
call.
a bubble tea place.
Good call. What about the?
I don't mind it sometimes, but like it's milk tea, which is
dude. Marietta looks awesome. Have you ever been to Glover Park? It's on Square Park.
I have not.
You never even been there? How long have you lived there?
I lived here for a while, but again, my area is like in Cobb County, which is a different section.
I thought I was in Cobb County.
How far?
All right, hold on. Let me
like Cobb County is here. Look up Cobb County.
Cobb County, Georgia. That's where Boss Man's from, dude.
Yes, and Xavier Woods and Cody Rhodes.
They're all but they don't have that in their songs. They don't say
and Buff Bagwell.
You ever been down to Cobb County, Georgia? You'll be doing hard time. You know that song?
Yes, I remember his hard time theme. Then
do you live by this Dollar Tree on 360?
No.
Do you live by Laurel Park?
No.
Here's Marietta High School. You buy that?
No.
What do you buy?
A closest school you can go by, since you're wanting to find more of my geographical location.
Yes.
Is Sprayberry High School.
Sprayberry? That's where John Cena's from.
Yes, Sprayberry, not
Sprayberry.
That's not where he's from.
Sprayberry, Massachusetts. Yeah, West Sprayberry, Massachusetts. That's where he's from.
Oh.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, you're right next to Sprayberry Yellow Jacket Stadium. That's exciting. Yes, Gino, look at all this stuff by you. Have you ever been to Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue?
Nope.
Why? Have you ever been to Kumu Hibachi Sushi?
No, I have not.
Gino, have you ever been to La Bella's Pizzeria?
No, I have not.
Have you been to Arby's?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. Arby's is great. What about this?
Arby's is great.
Is this the Walgreens where you were unceremoniously fired?
No.
Oh, it wasn't on Piedmont and Sandy Plains?
No, it was not.
Where was it? Was it in this area?
It could be in that area. Maybe not, though.
Oh, okay. Look at this LA Fitness, Gino. There's an LA Fitness. You can walk there to work. That's the easiest place to work. The gym is the only place where the customers work harder than the employees.
True, but I don't know if my entire body shape and weight would be good for a personal trainer.
No, don't be a trainer. I mean, no, yeah, obviously no one's gonna buy that from you, but you could definitely work the front desk and tell people, yeah, you want a membership? It's right over here. You can do that.
Is that all they do? Is promote the membership both on the phone and
dude? I worked at 24 Hour Fitness for like 3 months, and that's all it is.
TWFS says Gino, go to May's Family Cemetery and get curried.
Ooh, you want to get curried, Gino? That'd be fun. Oh, buried. Sorry, you're gonna get buried, Gino?
I don't know about burying.
Check it out. It's right here. It's close. You could at least work there. Undertaker did it.
Again, I keep debating would I die, because again I do feel like I do want to get buried, but there's parts of me it's cremation maybe actually.
But you don't believe in anything, so why do you even care what's going to happen to your vessel when you're done?
Because I do kind of care what does happen to this physical body that I had happened.
You believe in nothing.
It's pristine, or if it does go.
And
again, that's the thing, but it's it's in a sense the final choice I feel that I have, even if it's not a choice that we really have, because again, we don't know entirely if our lives are all predetermined or if it is stuff we do have free will on.
No, we know.
People do also have that there's God's plan, God's will. So it's God then telling us in our minds that this is the choice you're making.
Is this what you and Mace talk about? You guys talk about what God's thinking about? That's not for us to even think about. We just need to live our lives, all right? We follow God's word.
I just question it less. If God is the person tells us this, then we don't entirely have choice if there's already predetermined for our lives.
Yeah, but you're making a choice. You're making a choice every day by not doing
Poor
anything.
kids are just as bright and just as talented.
That's possible.
Oh,
Or that
hydrate.
again could be what's predetermined by, again, whatever is set in stone to me, whether it be from birth, from God, whatever it may be. Again, it all could just be all predetermined, all just deterministic.
Sure.
You don't really have any choice.
But if
There's
you,
a possibility of that.
But if you stop making choices because you're worried about what God's choosing, that's just, yeah, okay. Yeah, God chose you to do that. You do have free will. I mean, it's in the Bible that you have free will. You're able to do what you want. God does have a master
kids
plan.
Are just as bright and just
and
as
maybe his
talented
plan is
kids.
for you to, thank you so much, Tyler Spy. Look at that body. Look at Randy. We got to get there. And a
Poor
hydrate.
kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
This water's empty. But it's either way. Either way, I think that if you live your whole life like wondering, yeah, this was just the plan. Like, no, you're supposed to have your own ambition and your own drive. I mean, you look at the people that are successful. It's not that God didn't just throw them into a suit one day and they went out and made something happen. Like, there definitely is a lot that goes on our part. So I think that, I'm looking at this area you live in, Sandy Plains and Piedmont. So much stuff to do, so many things to see. And then you tell me, no, I don't see any of that. I live on a cul-de-sac. It's like no one's forcing you to live there, not even God. Or stay there, rather. Like, you can go outside.
Right, that's true. And that's the thing, is that I could, and that's the other big thing, is, again, there's the possibility, there's the could, there's the choice, or, again, the belief that we have choice. Or, again, there could be the other possibility of everything is just like a domino effect. This happened because this, and this happens, this, and that's why you're here, and this happens in your life.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question we never will get an answer to.
No, we have the answer.
The interesting thing of life is that we never will know.
I have the answer.
We don't have a direct answer.
I have the answer.
Choice.
I have the answer, Gino. The longer you sit there and not live is just more like, oh, well, that's it. Like, you're supposed to get out and live. Like, life is also a gift. And you're supposed to be using it to the most of its ability. You're supposed to go out and do things and meet people and make an impact, create a legacy. The more you sit and question what's real, what's not, like, that's more, like you're saying, you're even questioning God's plan. Like, is there a God? I don't know. I'm going to sit here. Like, you might as well go out and live life to the best of your ability. And honestly, I'll say this, with God or not. I say this all the time. I can't make anybody a Christian. Like, I can't. Okay. So, right. But I'm just saying, I've used religion in my life to give me more stuff to do, to give me more hope, to give me more passion. And I think that people that find religion and use it that way, that's how it's supposed to be used. It's not supposed to be pushing it onto everybody. I need to live my life in fear every moment like God's looking at me. Like, no, you do have free will, and you are supposed to make your own decisions. And God still loves you even if you make a wrong decision. But you're not just supposed to sit and waste life away, Gino. Like, I think of the examples, like, and no offense, Gino, but yeah, you're just there, like the reason we kind of ride you is because it is, I say this all the time. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, like, that you're just there. Have you watched all the Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
See, like, that's not okay. Like, I've watched 20 minutes of it. Like, you still,
it's not good.
And Kevin brings up, you got free will to shave that head, bro. What's up with this hair? Are you keeping that?
I'm choosing to keep my head. Yeah, my head of hair.
Hell
I
yeah.
might shave the beard though, because I do want to look presentable when I do go for a job interview.
What do you think of this?
I'm going to just bring it back out eventually.
What do you think of my mustache?
It's nice. It's nice. It's actually growing out nicely for you. But yeah, you don't have a full beard, which is sad that some people can't grow a full beard.
I can't grow any of this shit. This mustache is a month right here. It's not in. And my boss keeps like laughing at it. Like, dude, it's so terrible.
And then that's all you could do for 1 month. And November's not yet over.
It's so not yet over. I got a few more days, but it's not looking good, bro. But Gino, I'm just saying, man, I know that it
says keep the beard, shave the head, Jesus, Gino.
Oh.
Yes.
Not Ciampa.
I didn't want to say it, but I was like, yeah, Gino, obviously.
I don't think that'd be a great idea going Ciampa style. No. Thank you.
Beards are acceptable. What do you mean Ciampa, though? Braun does it. Like, everyone does
Tyler
it.
Spita says, please shave your head, Gino.
No more hair. Or go to 4 Hymns. You should go to 4 Hymns. Use the promo code Vleeties Pizza at Coke. Hydrate, and you'll get something back, Gino. Have you thought about doing? You want more loaf? Just let it go.
And I may eventually shave it or at least trim it.
Trim what?
Split Master Sexy says you got a lift, bro.
And you got a lift, bro. I was thinking about going to the gym, but now it's almost 11:30. I missed it. But yeah, I'm saying it, Gino. What's there to trim there, man? Just let it. I'm with everyone else. I shaved my head before. Remember? I was bald during the quarantine. Yes. Look, I'm a better man for it. I'm stronger. You might like being bald.
Listen, I've pretty much gone like without again, the closest thing I'll do to bald is not like gonna shave it. It's just like no cover for this electric razor I have and just trim the entire hair off.
I'm just saying, like, bald Braun Strowman looks way better than like receding.
TWFS says Gino is using his free will wrong.
Yes. Yes, Gino.
I'm not resisting.
We gave you free will. We gave you free will, and you said, no, I'm keeping this hair. I'm cutting the beard. Meanwhile, in 2021, the beard is better. People don't, like, The Rock's bald. People can be bald. Let it go. Like, I've even said this before. If I didn't have, like, the hair, I would just be bald, too. I would be like, fuck it. I hate spiking my hair. I hate getting haircuts. So, yeah, why not? I can't grow facial hair, so clearly there's no beard there. But you got the beard. It looks good. And places of work are okay with beards. Like, I don't know why you think that makes you look less professional.
I'd say for like an interview purpose, it would be better to be clean shaven. I always thought.
Nah, you're okay. As long as you trim, like, make the beard look nice. Don't come in. Like, look at Braun's beard. This actually looks pretty good. Like, you could tell he lines it up. See? Oh, let me scroll. He lines it up. Look at that line right there. Goodness gracious. Keep the head perfectly shaved every night. You got to do maintenance. We all know. Don't shave your chest ever, okay? Never do that. Keep the beard, Gino. # save Gino's beard. What's this about? Oh, I'm going to get rid of my beard so I can get a job at Costco? The hell, Gino?
Okay, both to get a job and also because once November is over, then I will shave.
No, you didn't grow that for November, though. We all know it. Just leave it. No, we're not. We don't want to see clean-shaven Gino. The beard is awesome. You rock the beard.
Sadly, maybe a time where we'll be clean-shaven, Gino, and then you're going to have to wait for the beard to grow back.
I'm very upset. This might be the worst discussion I've ever had with you, where it went from Gino has free will, he's going to do the most he can with his life, to, well, I can't get a job unless I go to Macy's and get a new shirt. I need to shave my beard, obviously, but I'm just going to trim my hair. I'm just going to focus on the back of my head a little bit. Gino, we got to get rid of that hair. Save the # save the beard. Have you ever been to T-Mobile right here on Sandy Plains?
I have not been to the T-Mobile.
Okay, so
space.
I'm assuming you live really close to this school. Like, I'm assuming like this is your cul-de-sac right here on on Rennie? Is that what it is? Rennie Court. I'm assuming that's you. Do you hear the football games at night?
Depending on like the people cheering, I could hear that at least.
Hell yeah! How fun is that?
Not celebrating.
Have you ever been to a game?
It can be annoying as in my area when I'm trying to sleep.
Well, you're not trying to sleep during a football game, Gino. You're up till 6 a.m. sending me songs from animes.
Listen, that's true. But there are some nights, again, when I was like, some nights even now, like I do stay up because of loud noises.
What's this pond right here on Piedmont Road? What the hell's that?
I don't know. I have no clue.
So, Gino, also, you said you watched Cowboy Bebop all the way, and you said you didn't like it.
Yes. It's... The biggest issue is, again, as you saw for like 20 minutes, they take it seriously. They do like a kind of dark style, like it's real. But do you care about spoilers?
Yes, because I'm gonna watch it. Because I got to be honest.
They do. I will say they have a character in that people were worried about.
Nice. Is it a trans character?
That's not a trans character, but it's a character that was in the show that people were worried were maybe not going to be in the show.
Mr. Lafitte.
The character is in the show.
Oh, Eddie. Eddie's in the show.
Yeah, Eddie's in the show.
Okay.
And Eddie plays the character well.
Sweet.
But that's a strict contrast because everyone else plays their characters like it's real.
Wait, what do you mean plays it well? What does that mean?
Like plays the actual like anime character.
Wait, hold on. Okay, I need to watch more of the show, clearly. I've only watched 10 minutes.
Because everyone more plays like the show is more serious in tone. And so like they keep this focus on reality. Like if this was real, but then you meet Ed, and Ed is all over the place, has the exaggerated looks like Ed has. And again, it doesn't feel right for a world where we're trying to be real and somewhat true to the manga anime. And then we have Ed, who is the character from the manga / anime, and it's over the top compared to, so it doesn't fit right.
And again, I haven't watched enough of this to have like a strong retort.
It's bad, but it's worth watching
one time. Well, I would just like to point out that I don't think of Like from what I've seen, Spike is clearly like cartoonish. Like I don't know what you mean. Like that's what I mean.
In comparison to Ed Weasmore, like he's not entirely like Spike from the anime. He's still kind of subdued and kind of if Spike was real.
Yeah, which I don't even agree with that. Like I don't see him as a character who thinks he's real. I don't know. I have to watch more of it because just from like when he goes down in the elevator and he's got the cigarette or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, headphones! What the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then he kicks a quarter. I'm like, "This is Spike Spiegel, my friends. This is great."
Yes, there's scenes where like it's like this is him, and then it's like it's good, but there are some like bad. Like I enjoyed some of it. There's some things I like, but it wasn't that good. It's better than the Death Note movie.
But and how many episodes were there? 9?
9 or 10, yes.
So
I might actually watch it again.
Even though you didn't like it, you still watched 10 hours of it, and it came out on what, Friday? So yeah,
Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say you liked it. All right, I think that's the criteria nowadays. If you watch the whole thing really fast and you couldn't stop, then yes. Like I watched 10 minutes of it and I was like, okay, you know what? That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And then the next thing I got to watch was Survivor Series on a Monday. So, or I watched some football on Sunday. But either way, that means you liked it. I'll have to check it out. I can't wait for it. But ultimately,
we can go a deeper discussion.
Oh, so deep about our new favorite show. And look, I
discuss fishes.
I like the cartoon. I thought I'm sorry. I like the anime. I thought the anime was really well done. I thought it was good. It was the first anime that I ever watched, so that, whatever bias that is there. But I do really think that it was, like I said, it was a good first anime to get into. It didn't really have a long storyline as far as, you need to pay attention. Like Death Note, you can't miss an episode.
Yes. Like there are like plot lines that you do pay attention to throughout, like near the end, because again, Vicious is an important character, and Spike having the kind of past and future in his eye because of his messed up life that we get to learn more about. Who Spike is. Yeah,
there's plenty of like little snippets here and there. You get to learn more about Julia. Is that her name, Julia? Or there is stuff that happens kind of throughout the entire series where, this happened here, this happened here. It does help to binge it because it's like, I remember all this. If you were just watching this on Adult Swim or whatever, it would be a little, I don't really remember all the way. Or if you're a true fan or a big fan, it's like for me, watching it that quick, it was just, this all made so sense. This was the best 13-hour movie I've ever seen. So I'm excited to finish the show. I watched 10 minutes of it. I'm probably not going to watch it tonight. Probably will try and catch a little next, if you will, a little NXT 2.0. Got to watch my favorite Joe Gacy.
Yes.
But ultimately, I think we covered it all, Gino. We talked WWE, we talked Impact, we talked Ring of Honor, NWA kind of popped up for a second there.
Because we can talk about that next week since the show is not to the 4th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get to talk about hard times. That means I have to watch some Power. Which is that only $5 a month too to watch Power every week?
It might be, but I don't think the pay-per-views count for that. So you would have to also pay for the.
Oh, sure, but I just mean as far as trying to binge Power, I could just go on the legal one, whatever.
Yeah, we can find other avenues to support the company.
Yeah, that's fine. You mean, hey, it's not fine, but I'm just saying. So, Gino, what'd you think about this guy who drove into a bunch of people at a Christmas parade?
Was he a part of the parade?
No, he was not part of the parade. He was a complete piece of shit. I guess he was fleeing a knife fight.
Well, again, so he was a bitch fleeing a knife fight, and he ran into a bunch of people, so he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I was very, very shocked that this didn't go like super viral, because it definitely feels like, what the fuck is he doing? Or why What's more viral is that Travis Scott's having a lawsuit for billions of dollars. For what? Because of him killing people. Travis Scott?
TWFS says, yes. Does Gino know about the BLM guy who drove into the Freedom crowd?
That's the other thing, Gino. I was hoping you would know a little bit more, but you brought up Travis Scott, who I thought was Travis Barker, and that's why I said that. That's the biggest deal. So, no, absolutely, the BLM SUV was bullshit. This fucking guy who even on a video was talking about how he used to pimp out a 16-year-old in Vegas, and the cops caught him, and he was upset about it. It's just ridiculous, Gino. I don't get it. And then, of course, there's assholes on Twitter, though. Like, he was driving in self-defense. Like, they're trying to even go apples to apples. It just doesn't work that way. the world's so confusing where, I had to listen to my coworkers argue because one of them was talking about how he was wearing the white supremacist shirt with a group of white supremacists. He's clearly a white supremacist. And once you show that he's not wearing a shirt that says anything white supremacy, once you show, hey, the Proud Boys don't have a bunch of white people in it. There's all kinds of races and people that are proud of their country. It's bizarre. I don't know. I live in this world where it really does depend on where you get your news or what your sources are, because I can listen to all my stuff all day and I don't know what the other side's really hearing, and when this happened, and also, there was another guy not named Kyle Rittenhouse who also got off for a self-defense shooting the same day. And do you know that he was black?
Oh.
B2K22 says RRY to interrupt. I just can't help but notice how handsome Gino looks in that hoodie.
Gino, we can't wait for Bald Gino. It's going to be the best era of Vleeties 2.0. We're all excited for it. See, that's the thing. You have free will. We're going to help you, okay? We're going to get you where you need to be. We're going to shave that head. We're going to trim the beard. We're going to get you a job. IBS be gone. We have probiotics. We're going to send you some. 3 probiotics every night, Gino. You're going to shit a ton, bro, in the morning, but then you're going to be cleared out for the entire day. So I think this is all helpful advice for you. And you're onward and upward, my friend. Oh, wrong button. So, Gino, Jesus. I love when I open YouTube and a huge fucking ad pops up that's like, YouTube TV. It's like, I'm not doing that. Do you have YouTube TV, Gino?
I do not have YouTube TV.
Have you met a living soul that tried the month free and then never renewed their subscription?
I have not. I actually never even tried the free trial, so I still have that on the table at some point in the future if I really want to.
See, and you're not going to want to.
Well, I mean, we see like Impact Plus, like Impact Ultimate side seems to work well. So like if it works that well there, TV might be good if I really want to.
Tyler Spida says, I love you so much, Gino. I want to get on a touch basis with you.
Are you guys going to touch? What's your touch game like, Gino? You touching when we're done here?
I don't know. Probably not.
What are you going to do when we're done?
Probably sleep.
Hell yeah. You know what helps to go to sleep is turn off all electronics and just lay there, dude, and just really start just talking. Talk to yourself.
It also just helps with that is melatonin.
Yes, but you don't want to rely on stuff like that. You got to be able to go to sleep on your own. That's the other thing. You got to work hard throughout the entire day. So when it is time to hit that pillow, you just fall right to sleep. You got to work hard, Gino. You got to get it. You can do this.
I believe I can as well, man.
Oh, I'm excited for you, Gino. Thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out live, trovo.live/Vleeties. Thank you for downloading on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Thank you for following on Twitter. Thank you for being a part of the Discord. And tomorrow night, immediately following Dynamite Thanksgiving, is that what they're calling it?
Yes. And then we have Black Friday Rampage.
Oh, what a fun time we have in wrestling. Thursday, we
Malachi Black says, Vleeties, show us a nipple.
No nipples. What is this?
That's against TOS.
Is it really?
I believe that is. At least that's Twitch TOS. You can't show nipples.
I'm on Twitch. No nipples, Nathan. Just message me on Discord.
It's TOS.
Message me on Discord. And you know what? Subscribestar.com/Vleeties. All the nipples we can take. Again, thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow for the whole effing show. Happy Thanksgiving. Do something awesome with y'all's families. And again, thank you for being a part of this. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Auld Lang Syne, Nathan, Spliff Master. Thank you, Kev Be Cool. Thanks, Quigley, B2, Gump Nasty, Ricardio, always, Tyler Spider. And obviously, thank you, Gino.
Not a problem at all, man. You have a good night.
You have a good night, my friend. That is Sonic Gino. Thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out. Just be thankful, Nathan. You don't need to be American to be thankful. And you don't need to be Christian either. I'll let you pass.